Hello and welcome back to the Part-Time Players podcast. This time I want to do the intro a little bit differently because I would like to make a formal apology on behalf of the Part-Time Players Corporation and team. Last week's episode, we kind of crossed the line and we made a little bit of a sick joke. And we mentioned we used language which is kind of unacceptable, especially in this day and age, and we should have known better. We did mention the word bug snacks, which we totally regret and would like to apologize to anybody that was offended for using that type of language. So we would like to give a 10-second silence for those who have suffered in last week's episode. I don't know if Brad's got any words to share before we do the silence.
I'm just ashamed. So I'm sorry. I was the one who played it. We both decided we had nothing else to talk, not a lot to talk about. We'd do bug snacks, and I apologise.
Yeah, all I can say is that we've grown from this experience. We're a lot less of a man than we were a week ago. So, we'll just give a 10-second silence to those who were offended.
Just one more thing before we do. Like I said, we won't mention bug snacks again until Bug Snacks 2 comes out, and then we review that as well. Yeah, woo, baby, woo. Sorry.
All right. I thought it'd be pointless doing the 10 seconds.
It turns out,
you have no regrets.
Turns out I haven't learned anything. It was all a joke. I was just pretending to feel regret.
Great.
Actually, I think it's quite a fun game. I played it after the podcast last week, so I was.
All right. Well, Brad's going to get the platinum just to spite everybody. But yeah, sure.
Yeah. The feedback you've received personally and the viewing figures, the download figures, says otherwise. It does. Yeah, people were clearly upset by that. So,
we'll kick on with the show. This is the Part-Time Players podcast, episode 27. This is a video game podcast where two pals discuss the week's video game news and all the big topics and occasionally review a game, as we're doing this week, or early impressions anyway, with Cyberpunk. Mm-hmm. If that sounds interesting to you, please book yourself in with a therapist because clearly you've got something wrong with you. But before you do that and get therapy, please smash the like and subscribe button because we would really appreciate it. My name is Reese Lagden and I am joined, as always, by Brad. How are you doing today, Brad?
Yeah, good. Good things, after our little apology there at the top of the episode. Yeah. No, really good. Been playing a certain game this week. Begins with B and ends in Axe. So
Cyberpunk?
That's the one, yep. Sorry, I can't read or speak or spell or any. So yeah, it is.
It's understandable.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm good. Good, thank you. The last time we're recording in the current setting, my current situation, my current setup. This will be the last time. So, yeah.
Maybe we can have some changes for next year. Maybe we can expand. Maybe go into video. Maybe explore some different ideas. So, it's just the beginning. We're trying to obviously always improve the podcast and the entertainment value that we give. That's why we dedicate whole episodes to games that everybody loves. So. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And we've been doing this now. I think the end of the last episode when we finished recording, we've been doing it for 6 months. I think it was, last month was the closest one to 6 months to the day. So, in a new year, once, like we said, maybe add video to our YouTube podcast and maybe do some streaming down the line. So, I think
we potentially could explore that. Options of adding more people to either the show or to the streams and stuff, just to stretch the amount of work that goes into it, just because obviously it is part-time. We do have lives and full-time jobs, and perhaps to grow it we need to incorporate more people. But obviously it's a thing to discuss in the future, and exciting stuff to see it grow. But
definitely.
We'll kick off with the show. Would you like to kick it off this week with your news, number one?
So we've got a lot of news this week. Obviously, a lot of stuff.
Thankfully, this is going to be a very, very action-packed. We've obviously got our early impressions. We've got a lot of news. It's going to be a longer, better episode this week. So strap in, sit down.
So I'm going to start off with the Game Awards. This was like the all the winners. So I have let's have a look. So I'll just start off. I've got a list in front of me, and I'll just start from the top and work my way to the bottom. So have I got? Let me have a envelope. Let me get the envelope. And the winner is Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2. I think we both said it won Game of the Year. It's kind of like looking at this list. It won a lot. So
we predicted it was going to win a lot, didn't we? Because when we was going through them all, we kept saying Last of Us. It seemed a little bit boring that we kept choosing that, but it was kind of obvious that, well, I know you have a different opinion on the game, but to me, it is Game of the Year.
But like I said in that episode, I stepped back and I said, although it wasn't the story, the game as a game, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Well, the first half anyway. But I stepped back and said, as a game, it was really good, But obviously, as we know in this podcast, I didn't like the story. So Game of the Year was won by Last of Us 2. Best game direction, again, The Last of Us Part 2. Best narrative, The Last of Us Part 2. Best art direction, Ghost of Tsushima. So I'm glad.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Best score and music. I think I might have said Doom Eternal just because I like the metal soundtrack.
Yep.
But that was won by Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah. Best audio design, The Last of Us Part 2. I think you said that as well because obviously the atmospheric, like the clickers and whatnot. Best performance, Laura Bailey, Abby, The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, really. If anything, I'm not getting into it again. I'll just whatever.
Deserved. She did a great performance. But I would have gone for Ellie personally. But I would. They both deserve it. They're both absolute phenomenal performances.
But games for impact. I don't know if we covered that category.
I don't think we did. No.
No. Tell me why. I've not heard of that either. So, best ongoing game, No Man's Sky, which really, kind of
shocked me.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of mentioned that it could win because of how much they've added to it. Because like when you have such a low ceiling and then you improve it beyond all expectations, it's kind of like I feel like it's kind of gets a lot of credit for that. If you know what I mean? Where a lot of games like Fortnite and Destiny have kind of been decent from the get-go, and they've just slowly improved and added things. But good for them.
Yeah, no,
what a turnaround.
Yeah, exactly. Considering how the way it was, and everyone like them, it was ridiculous. Like we said before, with receiving threats and death threats and all this abuse over a game. From seeing how it was to what it is now, and for free as well. If you bought that original game back in 2016, all these updates have been free. You know what I mean? So, really
I can't think of another greater turnaround going from such bad reception to completely turning it around to everybody loving it and to then winning an award. It's quite it's quite a story, isn't it? It's quite.
It just shows as well. It came out in 2016. It kind of got blown up. All this hype. People, it couldn't live up to it, and it's taken another 4 years for it to actually be in a state of where they wanted it to be in the first place. It's to show sometimes games they do come out too early, and maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll be talking about that later on. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like more games like that, especially like ongoing and live service games. I feel like they got the option to always go, this is an early release, like this is a beta build or pre-release build. And I know some people might not want to pay full price, but you kind of make it clear you're paying full price just to play it early.
Yeah, exactly,
like what Fortnite did. Fortnite had a full year where it was early access.
Yeah.
Before they even added a Battle Royale mode. I remember it was like a full year, and no one really cared that much about it. But it gave them that full year to build the game up, get all them bugs out, do all them things. And I feel like games like No Man's Sky, Anthem, maybe Avengers, etc., they need that year of just saying, this is early access. If you want to pay full price to get early access to it, there's going to be all these problems.
Help out as well. Yeah,
exactly. Like you're helping us out with the stress test of the servers, but in a year's time, you've had 12 months to sort all the bugs and all the things out, build up your content, and then that's when the real release happens, and then obviously more people jump in, and you've actually got a solid game there. But yeah, I feel like more developers, publishers should take that option. And
definitely. Yeah,
unsure why they don't.
I'd rather have a game that's delayed and then come out working, obviously. But if it's a game you're really looking forward to, you are going to be disappointed when it gets delayed. But maybe just don't pencil in. Don't say this is definitely when it's going to come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do that date later down the line when you know you can deliver it. But yeah, so that was No Man's Sky for best oncoming game. Best indie game, Hades. I've not played that. I don't know if you have.
I have. Yeah, no, we both said that we both haven't played it. I do want to play it. It looks really good.
Yeah,
it looks really super massive. I like Dead
Yeah.
Cells on the Switch. This is another great Switch game. I haven't touched my Switch for so long.
Yeah, neither have I, to be honest. Best debut game, Phasmophobia. So I've seen a few Let's Plays on YouTube about this, like this ghost horror game.
I read it. I've not seen anything. I've not even heard
jump
of it.
Scares. So it looks quite, it's a jump scary, like kind of game.
Sure.
Best mobile game, Among Us, which is no surprise. Everyone, even last month, everyone was. Okay. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, one for mobile. Yeah, I know. My niece played it a lot, and she was always playing on her mobile. So,
it's not surprising. Yeah. I thought Genshin Impact would have won it, just because that's such a big, also really popular at the moment.
Yeah. Best community support, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
Okay, a little bit surprised by that.
Best VR AR game, which is no surprise, Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, the winner.
We got innovation in accessibility was The Last of Us Part 2, which I agree with, because I think we talked about when we done our review, the accessibility, all the settings on it was
it was next
really
level,
good.
Wasn't it? They went above and beyond with the amount of options for anybody to play it. Yeah, it's really, really good.
And did I turn on some of those accessibility options to help me find the stuff in the game easier? Yes, I did.
Yeah, so did I, to be fair.
It's just to make it easier. We've got best action game again, Hades. That's picked up 2 awards, so that was pretty good for for an indie game.
Yeah.
Best action adventure game, Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Best RPG, Final Fantasy VII Remake. No surprise there. Best fighting game, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. And then you've got best family game, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yeah, also quite understandable. Yeah, don't think there's not many shocks there. It's quite obvious.
Yeah,
all the things that won what they won. So yeah, no.
Oh wait, there's more. There's. Wait, I've got a late envelope. We've got best sim/strategy game, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Okay.
Best sports/racing game was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Okay, cool.
Best multiplayer game, Among Us. Content creator of the year was Valkyrie. Best esports athlete, I don't know, Hio Showmaker Sue. So it sounds like a little wrestler name there, but best esports coach, Danny Zonic Sorensen.
We're going into a territory that we don't know nothing about.
Yeah, these are just all esports. I'll just finish it off. We've got best esports event was League of Legends World Championship 2020. Best esports game was League of Legends. Best esports host was FG Suctures Deporte. I'm sorry, I butchered that name. And we've got best esports team was G2 Esports. And that's it. Yeah, that was the Game Awards.
Cool.
I can see why they left that bit at the bottom, because I don't know, some people must love esports, but I just don't care. To be honest, but yeah. I don't care about I don't care about actual real sport. So that's
I guess it's whether or not you like watching other people play games, which certain games I don't mind watching. Like I don't know, Destiny, for example. And like raids and things when other people are doing raids and like world's first, I like watching that because that's quite cool. But it's only because I know I'm going to be doing it, and it's nice to watch other people do it and see what they're doing. Like that's where I get the enjoyment. But I would never like watch someone play a game that I'm not playing or I'm not into. I don't really see the appeal in that. But but
that was the Game Awards 2020.
Cool. Okay, obviously they had quite a few announcements as well, but we'll go on to my first news story before we go back to that. My first news story is about Prince of Persia, the remake. Although, are they calling it a remake? Because I feel like it shouldn't be called a remake because it's not. It actually has been delayed till March 2021. Ubisoft have basically made a statement saying we are excited to be able to put this game into your hands again and retell the story of the prince and Farah in the amazing 11th century Persia. However, 2020 is a year like no other, and today we would like to inform you that we need more time to complete the game with that. So the release date of Sands of Time remake will be moved to 18th of March 2021. And they said they believe this is the right decision to ensure that we deliver a game you enjoy. Thank you for your patience and continued support for the Prince of Persia. I've never saw like a delay announcement and I've been so happy because I was kind of like, this game clearly needs more time, and I really was hoping that they were going to sort out the awful graphics given with this delay, and they've like taken on the feedback and we're like, yeah, we need to push this back, we need to improve these graphics. And then I kind of realized, wait a minute, this is only 2 months. This is not gonna, they're not gonna, I don't know about how development works, but I'm sure they can't solve that in 2 months. And it's actually, they're just fixing some bugs or whatever issues they've got with it. So I was almost like, I went really excited thinking, oh my God, they're delaying it by quite a bit. And then I realized, oh, actually it's not. It's only 2 months and it's probably just bug fixes. So yeah, my excitement levels went back down, but yeah, what's your thoughts on the delay? Do you playing it? I don't remember if you said you were.
I played a little bit of it back in the day, like a tiny bit. To be honest, yeah, I'm not massively invested in getting a remake because I'm not a massive fan like you are,
sure,
and others. So for me, I don't mind. I probably won't end up picking it up, to be honest. So yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, some things happen, they just don't affect you, and that's one of them for me. So yeah,
some things don't affect you. Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, fair enough. What's your thoughts on the delay anyway? Do you think the?
Well, I think from what we saw of it, when they announced it, it did look a bit, a bit rough. So them delaying it can make it improve it.
Yeah, I like that terminology. It looked rough.
It looks a bit rough. Yeah.
Yeah, it did look rough. I agree. It did look rough. Yeah.
But yeah, if it makes it better, like I literally I can't go back it out. I literally in the Game Awards, like before we done the news, I said I'd rather wait for a game to be delayed and be working properly. So. If I turned around now, I'd be a massive hypocrite. So, yeah, I'd rather wait.
Yeah. Well, when you release a game early and it's broken, it's kind of always going to be tarnished. Where a delayed game is disappointment that it's delayed, but if it comes out and it's actually good, it's like, always good.
I know it's not your favourite game, but it's one of my favourite games of all time. Red Dead Redemption 2, I think, was delayed twice, maybe even 3 times. And when it came out, universal praise. People loved it. It was excellent. I don't think
it was quite universal praise, but yeah.
Well, it was everyone. In Brad's world, everyone loved it. They was on the streets. I was partying. Everyone loved it.
Okay.
But maybe we'll talk about a game coming out later on that isn't working as well. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe will we?
That had even more delays, but yeah.
Had even more delays, and it's been in it got announced 8 years ago. Hey, Yeah, I was actually thinking. I'll talk about that. Let's talk about it there. Sorry. So if you're finished with Prince of Persia delays, I've got another delay news here.
Ooh, go for it.
For Halo Infinite. So as we know, Halo Infinite was supposed to be launched alongside the Xbox Series X and S, and for current gen consoles as well on Game Pass. And it was supposed to be released in November the 10th, I think. That's when the Xboxes got released, wasn't it?
Yep.
And we found out in August that it was going to get delayed to 2021, but they didn't say when. Didn't know what time, what date. Anyway, It's come out now. They've pinpointed a little bit more. They've said now it will be delayed until fall. So for us in the UK, that's autumn. Autumn 2021. So it could potentially be like a whole year because November is in the autumn. So yeah, it could be potentially a whole year's delay, which for me, as someone who's looking forward to it, who's where to get back into Halo. Again, take your time. Yeah, I've got enough to play as it is, but it's mad. You know what I mean? A launch game being delayed a year, potentially up to a year, is it's massive. You know what I mean? Really, I reckon they would have been hoping more for like a 2-3 months, maybe early 2021, but they got so much backlash and stick when they released that trailer that they must have just thought, right, we just need to start not from the beginning, but maybe the middle to make it look better. So
scrapped half the game.
Yeah, it's what's your thoughts on that? I know you're like a Halo fan anyway, but it's
like when certain news just doesn't affect you.
Yeah, is that okay? Yes, we both have it now.
Yeah, this is exactly, it. Yeah. This doesn't affect me at all. They could have cancelled it, and I've been like, oh, that sucks for some people.
Yeah.
No, away from my own personal views of whether or not I'm going to play it or not. I guess it's just it was needed. They fired. Was it the director and the leader?
We left all.
Yeah, a few people got fired. Understandable, and they've clearly looked, like you said, looked at that trailer and well, oh, this looks rough. But the thing is, it's Halo. This is Microsoft's main IP. Like this is the face of Microsoft or Xbox, I should say. It can't come out like what Cyberpunk has done. It can't come out buggy. It cannot come out awful. It needs to be a temple like this is the game. And if they need to delay it to a year to get it up to that level, because you kind of think of like Halo, which I guess is never going to be Halo anymore since Bungie's taken the let them become Destiny. Because you used to think, although I never was an Xbox guy, it was like Call of Duty and Halo were the shooters. Like,
they were, yeah.
Like you wanted to play a shooter. Those two games were they were like the top. You thought of a great shooter. It was Call of Duty and Halo. Halo is just not that anymore. No. I don't think it ever can be that again.
I think I've said before, the amount of hours I used to put in on Halo 3 online, Team Death, all the online, and then I was so involved in that. People were saying, "Oh, Call of Duty's good as well," and I was like, "Oh no, I don't care. I've got Halo." But then when I did start playing Call of Duty, yeah, you're right. Them two, that's the two games I was playing online. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 1 and Halo 3. That was it. And it has the quality has gone down again. I did play Halo 4 online for a little bit, but it weren't good. And Halo 5 I never really did my toe into. So there is a big post by Bungie, and it's on HaloWaypoint.com. They posted this big blog on the 8th of November. 343, sorry. From the 8th of on the 8th of December. So if you want to go in and read in that a lot more detail what they're doing. But yeah, what I took away from it is just kind of, I think they've revealed the first map was going to be online, but again, it's going to have to wait a year to play it. So, and when it does come out, I will definitely jump on and see what it's like.
Yeah,
I've got a couple of mates that play it. So
from the rumors, which were the same rumors of what we've had with Cyberpunk, is that it's the current gen or last gen, whichever you want to view it now, is the one that's having the issues, and which is holding it back.
Yeah.
Given that what's happened with Cyberpunk, which obviously we're going to go on to, I don't know, it's like you've announced this, so there's probably some ethnical or maybe a legal reason why you can't now drop it, but I would honestly consider just making it a series game and dropping the Xbox One, because if that is what's holding it back from being that level of game, which is clearly what's holding Cyberpunk back, I feel like you should just, it's been a year. Sorry, guys, we wanted to get it work on Xbox One and Xbox Series or One X, whatever, but it's just the ambitions of the game is kind of taken out. I don't know how they would word it, but I honestly feel like it might be an option just to drop the old gen. What do you think of that? I don't think
I don't think they can now. I kind of think they've announced it that it's coming out on it, so they kind of
understandable
it. But there seems like that's what's happening with a couple of games now, doesn't it? There's the current gen that's holding it back, and if they did scrap it from current gen, I wouldn't be able to play it. So it's through
xCloud, you might be able to do it through xCloud. That's the thing. Like xCloud is a completely different. Like just because it doesn't run on Xbox One, it might run well. Because apparently, do you know where the best place other than PC to play Cyberpunk?
No,
it's Stadia.
Oh, Stadia, really?
Yeah, Stadia is like one of the best places. It's really stable. It just runs perfect. No bugs, nothing, because it's just being streamed.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? That's like,
We have got some other Halo news though, just quickly. If you do want to play, get back in the shoes of Master Chief, he's come to Fortnite. So there you go. You can play as Master Chief on Fortnite. Yeah,
which is really weird. I turned on my PlayStation, and though you get the little news thing that pops up now and your cards, first thing that popped up was Master Chief on the PlayStation. I was like, oh wow, that's interesting to see. You turn on your PlayStation, see Master Chief right there on your menu.
Cool. Cross contamination there.
That was very bizarre. I feel like it's going to be removed because next time I turn my PlayStation on, it wasn't there. They removed that Fortnite thing. They was like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't be advertising Halo on the PlayStation. So certainly didn't like that.
So your news story, you're up.
I'm up. Okay. Well, my next two, which are kind of linked, are all about Cyberpunk. So the first part is Cyberpunk 2077 sold 8 million copies before launch, which is from a Twitter post, which not CD Projekt Red, it was actually the Cyberpunk game Twitter account, basically said how humble they are and thanks for the support, and that they've basically sold over 8 million so far. Which is obviously very, very good news for CD Projekt Red on their numbers. However, I guess it's very bad news for all the people that have pre-ordered, which I'll imagine most of the 8 million were on last-gen consoles who can't even play the game, because that kind of goes into my next news story, is that Cyberpunk 2077 hovers around 720p on the PS4 and drops as low as 15 frames per second. Digital Foundry, who do tests and stuff, you check them out on YouTube, they're very good. They basically did a test on all the versions, PC, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, and PS4. And when they tested the PS4 version, the resolution runs around, it goes up to 900p, but generally is around 720p. And the frames, depending on how the scene and how taxing it is, especially when you're in the open world driving and stuff, the frames go down to 15 frames, which is kind of unplayable. It's not much better on the PS4 Pro, apparently. It actually goes up to 972p. And once again, the frame rate hovers around 20 frames. So it goes up by 5 frames on the Pro. So... it's kind of absolutely, I don't know, a disaster for those people that want to play it. I know a few people that want to play it and they can't.
Well, my brother, he's like me. He's got the original. He hasn't got a Pro or PS4 Slim. He's got the original PS4 like I did. Yeah. And he was picking it up on Thursday. I haven't spoke to him to see if he's played it yet to see what it's like. But this is now, why there was an embargo on console reviews. No one was allowed. CD Projekt Red wouldn't let anyone. They didn't
release them. They just released one PC.
They wasn't releasing any console codes anyway. So the only way you could review it was on PC, and everyone was saying well, it's going to be, there's rumours that it's a bit shonky, and it turned out it is. It's kind of
although it's even worse than I thought. Honestly, I thought it would just be a bit buggy, might crash, but this is really underbaked to the point where it's I would say 6 months under, it's real, really bad.
What's the? Did they get the numbers on the PS5 or Series X?
Yeah, so I put it in my review. So apparently the PS5 can run up to 60 frames. However, mine is not at 60 frames. And the resolution is supposed to be at 1080p. Right. But once again, mine doesn't look 1080p. Mine looks loads worse. The Series X version is supposed to be the best out of all the consoles, just because they've actually added a performance and graphics mode, so you can switch between the two, apparently. Oh, okay. And on the graphics mode, which they said was the better looking version, I believe the graphics go above 1080p. It goes to I feel just under 2K. And the frames obviously go down to 30, but they said that is the best, and obviously on performance. Yeah. But I feel like the issue, because it's so unstable, although we're supposed to be getting 60 frames, I feel like it's dipping all the time. It's dropping, and my resolution is dropping, because sometimes it looks all right. There's certain scenes where I'm talking to a character, I'm like, oh, wow, this looks quite good. And then all of a sudden, it just completely just goes like, it looks like an early PS4 game. Like, looks really shoddy. I don't know about your version, but
I was playing it. One thing I'll talk about in my review, but one thing I did notice was, I don't know spoilers, but at the beginning, you kind of get that montage of like you setting yourself up in Night City and that.
Yeah.
When you go to get like when he's buying a new car, it hadn't rendered, like it was just a blur.
Sure.
For like 3 seconds, it wasn't a car, it was just a grey block, and then it popped in. So I've had that a few times. And mine's crashed a couple of times as well. So
it's just all really poor performance because it's supposed to be 4K. It's supposed to be 4K 60, even with backwards capability. Like what we're supposed to be getting with the next gen upgrade is like ray tracing being added to it.
Yeah,
like it's not supposed to be like getting 4K. We were supposed to have like PS4 Pro should be 4K.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad it is. Like that's where we should be at. It's not like we're meant to be at 1080p and it's not hitting that. It should be at 4K and we're not even getting 1080.
At the back of the case, obviously, because we bought the PS4 versions. On the back of the PS4 case, it says
mine's digital,
PS4,
but sure.
PS4 enhanced. So it's supposed to have. But we're going to do early thoughts, early impressions of the game. So we'll go into it more then. But it's disappointing for people who's going to be playing on the original Xbox and PS4s.
Yeah. Do you think there's a moral obligation? With obviously 8 million were sold, I would imagine more than half of those were current gen consoles.
Oh, exactly.
Because you've got to kind of think how many PS4s and Xbox Ones are in the wild. Like what, 170 of those consoles are in the wild. So I would imagine most of those sell, like the numbers that were sold were on those consoles. And from what we've seen so many Night City wires. They've been advertising it, hyping it up. And I know obviously it's down to you to like temper your expectations, but to be fair, CG Projekt were on board in the fucking hype train to the max, sending all their fucking yellow chairs to people and hyping it up. So they were on board saying this is going to be the greatest game ever. So everybody's pre-ordered it, 8 million people, which is a big number for a single player game. And they've kind of hidden what... they've completely hidden this console game.
They've intentionally done it. And when you think, when it was first announced and, pre-orders went up, it wasn't for, like, you was buying it. And we've both got next-gen consoles. Yeah, we bought it. You was buying it for the current gen. So all it was supposed to be is supposed to be the best as it can be on current-gen consoles. And if you've got a next-gen console, you play it on a PC, they're going to make it a little bit better. That's what it should. That's what the expectations are. You've got a fully functioning, great looking game for your console that you're going to buy it on, and if you've got an upgraded console or PC, you're going to get a little bit more. But no, it's kind of like you have to have a high-end PC, or you kind of for me, it runs better on a next-gen console, but not as it should be. It's bad. And then for them to kind of come out and be like, oh, we sold 8 million copies. Oh, thanks everyone. It's got a bit of a kick in the teeth. If I was bought for the PS4, I'd be pissed off, really.
Did you ask for a refund? I reckon there's going to be a news story. I don't know if it already is because I haven't looked at the news because we've got so much of it. But I'm sure there must be a news story saying about, because you normally can't refund with digital copies. I reckon there is a thing where Sony will probably give you a refund for it if you got it on PS4 because you can't play it. It's shocking. But I do think, one, they purposely obviously moved the release date to avoid the Game Awards. Because I think I know we're breaching into our reviews, but there is a really good game underneath all these buggy issues. You can see it. So this time next year, with all the DLC, all the free expansions, once they've sorted it all out, we get the next gen upgrades, this game is probably going to be phenomenal. And it will probably win a lot of rewards next year. But I know I feel like they purposely tried to skip the rewards this year because they knew the state of it, what it is in. Like, it's clearly obvious. So...
I know there was like controversy about when The Witcher got announced and when it actually came out, they were saying about the graphical downgrade, and people are saying about Cyberpunk's got a graphical downgrade. I never experienced it, The Witcher, because I didn't buy The Witcher 3 until 2 years after it came out. So I think when I bought my version, it was kind of like the best it could be. So, you say down the line, this time next year, well, not the best it can be because it's going to get an enhanced version anyway, but you know what I mean, it was far from what it was like when it first came out.
You ain't got performance drops and stuff, and
Yeah, we'll have to wait. Like you say, wait till this time next year. It might be a completely different game.
I don't remember. Sorry to cut you off there. Go on.
That's right. Maybe it'll win the award for most supported game next year. I don't know.
I think it will just win Game of the Year potentially, but it might not. There's a lot of good games coming out next year. I'm sure God of War will probably win it, to be fair, but or even Halo. Hilarious. What was I going to say? I played The Witcher at launch, and I don't remember it ever being this bad. It wasn't great. It had bugs. I remember it was quite a funny one where you used to like call Roach, which is his horse, if you don't know. And he used to like spawn on top of like buildings and houses and things. It was like really weird. It was like really buggy. It was odd. And like animation used to pop in. It was just really buggy, which was quite, I feel like normal then, because I feel like that was when like Assassin's Creed was really buggy. But that was like the Unity. I don't know. There was a lot of games that are really like, there was like really odd bugs. So it kind of wasn't unusual. So it was kind of seemed like the norm at first that games would be buggy, but they gave so many patches and gave so much free DLC. It kind of was like so generous, and they kind of had such good fanfare because of it. So I feel like they're going to see the same here. Everybody will forget about it in like 8 months.
With The Witcher as well, it didn't have to come out on the previous gen. It came out in 2015. So by then, the PS4 and the Xbox One was 2 years into their life cycle. So, they just focused it on that. And whereas this, that they've been trying to do it, for PC, PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox One, Xbox One X, PS5. But like you say, I don't really make excuses. It's if you got it for PS4 and the current gen consoles, you're going to play it. So
it's got him, especially with the current climate and the fact that you can't even get a PS5 or Series X because they're gone. Like it's not even like, oh shit, I want to play this game, so let's now go get a PS5. You can't. They're not available. You're stuck. It's it's very unfortunate for those people that never got a PS5 or couldn't get one. So it's absolute shame. I'm sure the scalpers that are selling them for like £900 are like rubbing their hands together. So but in the end, I feel like it will sell loads. It kind of makes me. It's kind of interesting, that number 8 million, which is we say it's a lot for a single player game, but there's like 110 million PS4s been sold, maybe more now, and I think it's around 60 million ish. Microsoft are not releasing the numbers, but it's believed to be around half of what the PS4 has sold. So say 60 million. So that's like 170 million consoles in the wild, and 8 million for like, this is the most hyped game ever, as far as I can say, and it only got 8 million pre-orders. I don't know. I find that like such a what are these other people playing? GTA Online, like Call of Duty. I don't know what this 150 people are playing. Jesus, just
sorry. Yeah. That's the new C word.
That is the C word. Yeah. That's like, what are these people playing? Do you know what I mean? It's bad. Like, there's so many consoles in the world, and yet the biggest game or the most hyped game ever only sells 8 million on all platforms. It's it just makes me think. What?
A little bit of live news here. Breaking news. That's breaking news. I just text my brother and asked him what it's like playing on his PS4, and his reply was absolute shit. I've stopped playing it. Going to have to wait to get a PS5. So there you go. Yeah, like you say, he can't play it. He's got it, and he was hyped. He was talking about it. He's really excited to play. He went out on Thursday to grab it, and he can't play it. It's a joke. It's an absolute travesty. That's what it is.
It is.
It's a joke.
Well, I guess in your mind, all you got to think is that it's been delayed again. Do you know what I mean? You just got to tell yourself, this game has been delayed in my head. I just got to wait for a patch or PS5, or it's not even playable on the PS5. Well, it is playable, but it's very distracting with these drops and performance issues. But we've talked about Cyberpunk enough for now.
Yes.
We'll go on to it with our main topic. So, do you want to go with your next news story?
Yeah, so my news. So I don't know. I've got a lot of games here that was announced. So I think what I'm going to do, I know you've got a lot of shows that was announced. So what I might do is I might list all my games, you go into them, and then you can list your shows instead of going game show. Yeah, is that? Should we do it as one?
Yeah, we'll say our thoughts about each show or game that's been announced.
Yeah. So at the Game Awards, we had some games announced and some gaming news. So some of it's more in depth than others. So I'll start off with the first one. Sephiroth, so from Final Fantasy, is going to be the new playable character in Smash Bros.
Cool.
Yes.
You don't have Smash, do you?
I don't know. I don't have Smash.
Yeah, I have Smash. I love Smash. It's kind of like with all these characters being added from different franchises. It's just kind of, if you love that game, it's such a little. It's great. It's great stuff to see all these different characters from different franchises, different platforms just being added to it. Obviously, Final Fantasy and I can't think of some of the others. Some Xbox characters have been added.
Persona 5 you got Banjo Kazooie in there, ain't you? And
yeah. So, I know there's a few. I can't even remember them all. There's been so many that's been added and stuff.
You've got this says December 2020. So he's coming to Smash Bros.
Probably there now.
I would like to play it. Yeah, I would. You know, I don't know why I haven't got it, to be honest. It's a good game to have where you've got mates around and that, innit? So
or multiplayer. I'll give you a game on that.
Yeah, we're not allowed to, to actually play it in the same room. We're not allowed to do that no more. So
it must have online. So I'll give you a game. I've still got it somewhere.
We've got another one. I've never played any of the games, but a new Perfect Dark announced. Had like a little teaser trailer for Perfect Dark from The Initiative. So mysterious Xbox Super Studio, The Initiative, has revealed its first game, a brand new Perfect Dark. It's described it as a first-person shooter with an eco-sci-fi theme. No gameplay, as I say, it's only a little cinematic trailer. But I know it's a popular game, popular franchise. People are going to be looking forward to that. Because I think it was originally on Nintendo 64, the original Perfect Dark, wasn't it?
I don't know. I thought it was an Xbox original, like the original Xbox game. Exclusive to that,
pretty sure. Yeah, the first one was on N64, and then it come over to Xbox.
Did they just buy the IP? Because it is an exclusive Xbox game, right?
Yeah, it is an exclusive. Yeah, so a new Perfect Dark has been rumored for some time. With Xbox previously downplaying the creation of a Perfect Dark Twitter account that looked to have been created by a Microsoft email address. However, a fabled account made at the same time was subsequently used for the upcoming sequel. The Initiative was announced at E3 2018 and has since hired staff from the likes of Crystal Dynamics, Bungie, and Naughty Dog, and more. The Perfect Dark blog post says the studio tried to bring some of the most talented game makers from around the industry who all share a passion for storytelling, world building, and creating memorable gaming experiences. For Perfect Dark, head of Xbox Phil Spencer has previously teased that the Initiative was working on new things and old things. But the original one was on 64. So, if it looks good, once obviously see some more, if we see gameplay in that, I might give it a go. I like sci-fi shooters, so.
Yeah, a lot of people are very excited. Yeah. It's got a lot of fanfare. I've never played the originals because I was probably too young when it came out on, you say 64, and to be aware of what games were good and stuff. And on the Xbox, I've never owned an Xbox, as everybody probably knows by now. So it's kind of one that doesn't really affect me, but I'm excited. I'll certainly check it out as we see more stuff about. I'm sure it's years and years away because the Initiative, which is obviously a built from the ground up studio, was that one of the ones that got announced last year at E3? So
2018 it said there, so
they got it's longer. I thought it was last year when they
I think that's why a lot of people have been like, what are they doing? Because obviously they're making something. What are they? And they just announced the Perfect Dark, so that's pretty cool. One for me, one that I got excited about, watched the trailer. Again, no gameplay or anything. New Mass Effect has been revealed and it's in early production, and you got a little trailer. So it was, if you'd have watched it, you would have known it was Mass Effect. So it starts off with like the solar system going through and all that. And then the first sign you got that it was Mass Effect was you saw one of the Mass Effect relays. Okay. And there's all debris around it, and people are saying, is it a prequel? Is it a sequel? I personally think it's a sequel because of what happens in the Mass Effect 3. The way you see the relay, and then you see a ship come in to land, and then someone walking up this massive snowy mountain, and then they I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
They put up the debris and they wipe it off, and it has N7, and then this Mass Effect kind of techno kind of music starts playing, and it looks like the person who picks it up and she smiles, it looks like it's Liara. So she's a character from the Mass Effect series. She's on all three of them.
Okay, cool.
And it looks like, it does look like her, and there's two people in the distance as well. So, it could be. Hopefully it's a sequel. I don't know how they'll do it. There's multiple endings, and then they released another ending for Mass Effect 3 as well. So, really excited for this. If you haven't already, go watch the little teaser trailer, because it's only like 1 minute and 40 odd seconds long. But
are you excited? And obviously you're
I am. Yeah,
you're a massive fan of the franchise.
Yeah. So. I shouldn't be, but I am. Yeah, I am really excited. Like I say, when the music kicked in and you get I don't really know. It's like techno. It's not techno like you're in like some little club, but the music they play and they start playing that.
Yeah, you get the nostalgia for the game. It's a franchise that you love. Yeah, it's understandable. Yeah, it's despite BioWare clearly not being the same studio. Yeah. So
I looked at my game times, how long I played games, and apparently I played Mass Effect Andromeda 35 hours, and I was like, I do not know.
That's short for an RPG.
Yeah, but I must have. But it's longer than I expected. I must have been really trying to get into it, and in the end, I can't play this.
Yeah.
So the next one I've got is Elder Scrolls Online, Gates of Oblivion chapter announced. So the newest Elder Scrolls chapter has been announced, called Gates of Oblivion, will be released sometime in 2021. Again, there's just a cinematic trailer for it.
Is that going to be the next expansion? They just bring expansions.
It is, the newest one, yeah. I know you've played a little bit of Elder Scrolls Online. I haven't.
Yeah. I try getting into it. It's just so, I don't know. No way. It's just like I just told myself I ain't got time for this. Do you know what I mean? There's like such time commitments. Like my time commitment is Destiny, and I sometimes like to jump into like I don't know an RPG every now and again, like I'm doing now with Cyberpunk, and jump back out. But that is like an ongoing commitment, and I feel like unless you give up your life or whatever, you kind of can't have two ongoing games.
Yeah, you've kind of you're in the Destiny camp, and then that's it. That's what you're going to with. Yes, understandable. The next one is Evil Dead game that was announced. So Evil Dead, the game, was announced at the Xbox Awards, and it's coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC in 2021. So they're going for it. They're going for, they're covering all bases there. Based on the iconic franchise Evil Dead, the game features both co-op and PvP play. The debut trailer featured some familiar faces and locals from the franchise, including the return of Bruce Campbell as Ash. I think that's cool that they've got Bruce Campbell to do the voice, because it's iconic. You kind of need him to be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and I reckon he'd be up for it. He seems like a kind of like the interviews I've seen with him in the past, and that he seems like a cool guy. So I reckon he'd.
Sure.
Yeah, to be up to it, but I think it's kind of like it's teams of four. Players will join teams of four to seal the breach between worlds, while others take control of the powerful Cardranian demon to hunt Ash and his friends while possessing deities, the environment, and even the survivors themselves, according to developer Saber Interactive. So, nice. I saw the gameplay one of this actually. It looks quite good. Could be good. You got four mates, just like jumping or playing. So it's that's pretty cool.
Which game is that again? Sorry,
Evil Dead.
Oh, is it called Evil Dead? Or was it Left 4 Dead?
Evil Dead, the game.
Oh, Evil Dead. Okay.
It's based on there's a load of horror films. Evil Dead. You never seen them?
No, I don't.
He cuts his arm cut off, and he puts his arm. He has a chainsaw arm, and there's one where he goes back in time. And I think the third one he goes back in time to the medieval days. And
okay, cool. It's
a big graphic scene. Like there's one bit. There's like the tree, like the forest is haunted, and like this woman gets like sexually assaulted by a tree. But that's what it makes it look like. It's a bit weird. They're from like the 80s. The films, I think.
Okay. 80s,
it's big. He's got a big cult following.
Cool.
Next one. Weird, never played the first one. Never played Ark. Ark 2 announced. This is the title. Ark 2 announced with Vin Diesel. Like, it's going to be a big selling point. Now, you've seen the trailer. I've seen the trailer. If anyone hasn't seen the trailer, go watch it. It's just weird. I don't really know why they're.
I thought it was Horizon at first. I was like, if they put Vin Diesel in Horizon, that's really strange. But then again, he's popular for some reason. Well, not for some reason, I guess they have their audience, but loads of people like Fast and Furious, and they like Vin Diesel in that. And I guess he's just got a little cult following. That makes me then think, why hasn't The Rock been in video games yet?
Yeah, because
you know what I mean. Like
personally,
he is the perfect person to put in a video game. Why is he not? He will be in the next. I'm predicting it now. In the next 5 years, we're going to get a video game with The Rock in it.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll come back to that if it does
Write
or
it
doesn't
down.
happen.
Yeah.
I personally don't see the appeal of Vin Diesel. I don't watch the Fast and Furious films. The other day, what film was it? Triple X was on, one where he's in it, and it just looked like the biggest pile of shit in the world. Just looked terrible. Like there was a bit where a car was going fast, and you could tell they've just sped it up. They just sped the film up to make it look like it was going faster. And I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why Vin Diesel would be a selling point for a game, but
yeah. I guess it's just a name. I guess it just depends on if the game's good or not, and if you had this guy that you know is a good actor, I suppose, then it adds to it. But what was that Ubisoft game that we got a few years ago that had the guy that was the Punisher? Was it Ghost Recon? Was it Ghost Recon?
Oh yeah, Ghost Recon Wildlands or Wild something, wasn't it?
Was it? I thought that Wildlands was the one before, but yeah, it might have been Wildlands. I'm not sure, but yeah, who was that actor's name?
Breakpoint. Sorry, Breakpoint.
Yeah,
and
Breakpoint. Yes,
John Barenthal.
Yes, but I think he's quite a cool actor. But
I think he's quite and I think
the game was just wank, so I never played it. It just depends on the game.
To be fair, I probably won't be playing Ark 2. It's got hit in an absolutely gonzo turn. Actor Vin Diesel of Fast and Furious fame is in Ark 2. It's unclear if he will be the sole protagonist of Ark 2 or a character that players can interact with. Ark would also be getting an animated series with a voice cast that includes Carl Urban, David Tennant, Michelle Yeoh, and Elliot Page. IGN gave Ark Survival Evolved a 7.7, praising its compelling survival gameplay, but with a nice narrative frame. So people, obviously, fans of Ark, and if you're a fan of Ark and a fan of Vin Diesel, when this got announced, you must shit yourself because you're so excited, you lost your mind. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. I'm also interested to, it's just interesting that they've put such, I don't know, I want to say real actors, but I guess voice actors are also real actors. But who would have thought Ark has tried to go? I don't know. Such a big budget all of a sudden. I don't get it, but good for Ark fans, I suppose. But yeah,
exactly. Yeah, if you like it, then it's good. Yeah. More BioWare news. Dragon Age 4 teaser trailer hints at returning characters and epic scale. BioWare debuted a new trailer for their still untitled Dragon Age 4 at the Game Awards, confirming the return of a few memorable characters and offering fans a look at the next adventure in the RPG franchise. While not depicting actual gameplay, the trailer does give a player the sense of the art style and even look of the team he's working towards, as seen in the new trailer below. And obviously, you can look at the trailer. So I've tried to play. I played Dragon Age 1. We couldn't get into it. Tried to play Dragon Age Inquisition. Couldn't get into it.
Isn't it going to be called Dragon Age 4? This is untitled, isn't it?
Yeah, it's untitled. Still untitled. Well, maybe they're expecting it to be Dragon Age 4.
Okay. I can say I thought it was Dragon Age 4.
Yeah. It's big news as well because like last week we reported about the two heads or higher ups in BioWare going. They're still going along with
Casey and stuff.
Yeah. They're still putting out Dragon Age and Mass Effect stuff. So hopefully, because I know Dragon Age has a massive following, just like Mass Effect. Hopefully, they'll both be decent games.
I would imagine. Going back to our conversation last week, that obviously Casey coming back, and apologies to the other guy, I can't remember his name. They've come back to basically put it obviously on the right path. They've built the core story for both of these franchises, and now it's just about the team just building both games. It's probably going to take a decade for both of them to come out, likely, or maybe even over a decade. This will probably take BioWare, I don't know, well into the 2030s. So.
It says, I was going to say, it doesn't, at the end, it doesn't reveal a logo or, like I said, a title or even a release window. It's just a cinematic trailer. This is, is coming.
Yeah.
But still no news of anything of it really of substance. So, we don't know when it's coming out still. So.
I feel, going back, I should have said it earlier, but the Mass Effect Mass Effect, announcement, I feel like it's just way too soon. They're doing a Bethesda again, where Bethesda has announced the next Elder Scrolls and that Starfield when it was so many years away. And this is also at least, 5-6 years away?
Yeah.
I feel like they should have waited until they re-released the trilogy next year, got all the fanfare back, and then at E3 at EA Play, announced it there. Like, once, do you know what I mean? I feel like it would have been a bigger hype thing than just releasing it so early now. I don't know. Well, not even next year, a year. I don't know. I feel like they should have waited on this. It's so early. We're at least 6 years away, at least.
I know it's going to be a long time, but I don't. You know, knowing it's coming, I'm excited. Like it had the effect. That little trailer had the effect it wanted to have on the fans, like me. Got me excited for it. You know, we know there's a BioShock 4 in the works as well, and they announced that. We've not heard anything else. So, yeah, announce it. You know, for me, announce it, let you know it's coming, and then just kind of just wait, you know.
I suppose.
I don't mind waiting. It'd be good.
Yeah, I guess the other point of view from a business perspective, I suppose, and why they have actually done it is actually the opposite of me saying release it after the remasters. Because they've announced this before, it probably will add to people wanting to buy the remaster so they can catch up with the story. And I think that's probably why they've done it. Like, oh, there's a new one coming. Oh, wait a minute. They're re-releasing the original trilogy. I'm going to go out and buy these so I can catch up with the story. I feel like another... Obviously, maybe that's why BioWare did this. Not BioWare. We're talking about BioWare and BioShock. So confusing. BioShock obviously did the collection, and now so we're getting a new one. And I feel like another franchise re-released like their trilogy before they released like the next one. So you could kind of catch up. I can't think of what it is, but...
I can't,
I feel like that did also happen, but but cool.
Right, the next one, Dead Space creator Glenn Schofield has announced the Callisto Protocol, a new sci-fi horror game due for release in 2022 on Xbox Series XS, PS5 and PC. The debut game for Schofield's new studio, Striking Distance. The Callisto project was revealed at the 2020 Game Awards, so this is where we got it from. There's also a little cinematic trailer for this, and it looks pretty, scary. They apparently said he wants to make it the scariest game ever. So I'm a massive fan of Dead Space. I love Dead Space.
I bet you're excited.
So I'm excited for this. Yeah, I really am. It's set on Callisto, so one of Jupiter's moons, and it's set in a prison. And it just looks like there's been some sort of outbreak, kind of like the what are they called? Necromorphs, yeah. I always get confused. Necromorph and Xenomorph. Xenomorph's alien. The Necromorph. So it's kind of like similar to that. Looks like they've been transformed into some sort of monsters. So yeah, I'm really excited for this.
It's kind of the best, the closest thing to get in a new Dead Space, is because it's the creators that made that were like, well, EA are not going to do this. So let's go make our own studio and make the game we want to make. So that's perfect.
Talking about Dead Space, I had another message from my brother. He's put, I've started playing this, and it's honestly got better graphics, and this came out in 2008, and he started playing Dead Space 1 again. So that's how bad he's actually gone back to a 12-year-old game rather than play Cyberpunk, because you can't play it. So terrible state of affairs. We've got a couple more. We've got Hood, Outlaws and Legends. So this is the first I heard of this. I've not heard of this before. I think it was announced at E3 or one of the conferences, but yeah. Okay, it's a new PvPvE heist game from developer Sumo Digital and publisher Focus Home Interactive. It's set to be released next May. As revealed at the Games Awards, Hood will debut on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, PC on May the 10th, 2021. And the new look has offered up a deeper delve into the gameplay. So apparently, it's just kind of like, you're kind of teams again. You're trying to rob from the rich and give to the poor, and the other side, you're trying to stop them from doing that. Looked at the trailer, looks all right, but I'm not big into these games, so same. It's going to be another one that I just skip. What was the other one? For Honor. For Honor. I never really into that. So, but that's actually got a release date.
It looks like Thief. Do you think it looks a little bit like Thief? Do you remember that game? Thief?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that.
A little bit like that. And then the next news story. That's it. Sorry, that's it. Because the last news story was Halo, but I covered that at the top of the show. So
cool.
Yeah, that was the. There was another game. I can't remember what it was called. I saw it was announced. It's like an Ace Combat, like an aerial combat, but instead you're in medieval times and you're flying dragons. But I can't remember what that was called.
I never saw that. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I saw a trailer. I saw something on YouTube. But yeah, again, not for me. But yeah, that's my announced games. Something that I'm really looking forward to. Really looking forward to obviously Mass Effect, and the Callisto project, from the Dead Space creators. I'm really excited for that as well. So
okay, cool. So I'll go on to my list. So Disney basically did an investors conference or show or whatever you want to call it. And I basically announced 52 things that are basically coming to either cinema or Disney Plus. We won't go through all 52. We'll just kind of cover what is kind of associated with our show. Obviously the Marvel stuff and Star Wars. Disney Plus is actually going up to $7.99, which is not a surprise with all these announcements after March. So yeah, it was always going to go up, wasn't it? It was so cheap, and with all these IPs they've got, it's not surprising. It's still pretty cheap though compared to that Netflix and stuff. But the first show, which we already knew about, is WandaVision, which is coming January the 15th, which obviously we will cover on the show. We're only got it till next month. And it looks like, because they're doing it like every two months. So then the next one is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which you got a full trailer for. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, good trailer. Yeah.
It looks really cool. I can't wait for that. Which is coming in March. Looking at, I imagine it's going to be like 8 episodes each one. I don't know if they've confirmed that, but WandaVision with 8 episodes kind of goes into like mid-March finishing. So then it makes sense that like each Friday it will just continue on. Then Loki is the next one, which comes in May. Once again, if Falcon is 8 episodes, that will go into May. So it looks like all the way into into June, maybe July, for like nearly 6 months, over 6 months each Friday. You get a new Marvel show. So that's really cool. Apparently WandaVision is also going to be linked to the new what's it called? Completely forgot. Doctor Strange, that's it. His name completely went out of my mind there. Yeah, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Apparently it's going to be linked, so it's pretty cool. Are you excited for the show?
So the Multiverse of Madness, that's a movie, isn't it? That's a movie.
Sorry, that's a movie.
Yeah. No, I am. At the minute, I think I've said before, the only reason I've got Disney Plus is because O2, who my mobile with, was like, you can have free for 6 months. And I was like, yeah, go on then. So I think that runs out soon.
Sure.
But if there's stuff on there I want to watch, I'll pay for it. It's only because after I cancelled it last time because I watched The Mandalorian, and then I don't really care about Disney films, so I didn't really want to watch it. But if there's decent content now I want to watch, then I'll
cool.
Yeah, the trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier looked really good. WandaVision looks weird, but that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and so Loki looks quite weird as well.
Loki looked weird, but that looks really good as well.
Yeah, that does look good. It all looks fantastic. And it kind of contrasts. I feel like you really trust Disney with Marvel stuff because they've just kind of almost never put a foot wrong with it. It's all looks good. Another one they showed, or they didn't show a trailer for it, but I've seen like leaked photos. I'm sure you may have seen them as well, but it's for the Hawkeye TV show, which is coming apparently late fall 2021.
Okay, yeah.
Which looks cool. They also announced an animated series called What If, which looks really cool. It's basically replaying the movies and all the outcomes. So it's basically they're just changing the outcomes of the stories and stuff. For example, Peggy is Captain America, well, she's not America, she's probably Captain Britain, rather than Steve. And it looks really cool. So
I think there was a comic series called What If, I think, and I've got it. And also Marvel Zombies, which I'm a big fan of. I've got, I think they've brought out more, but I had them all. I had all 3 volumes of that. That's going to be on What If as well. So that'll be cool. I think that's the only way they could kind of do the Marvel zombie thing is in animated form. So I'm looking forward to that. Should be good.
I thought that was a What If or a similar thing with a Deadpool thing, because I actually bought that comic where what if Deadpool killed the X-Men, or what if he kills the Avengers? And I remember reading that.
You had like standalone. Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, so he kills everyone. And I think you also had one, Punisher kills the Marvel universe, so Punisher just kills everyone. Yeah. So they're like, standalone, just like the Marvel zombies. They're just kind of like in their own little universe.
Standalone stories. Cool.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Yep. Also, we'll just list through the things. So Ironheart got announced. Armor Wars got announced, which is basically a War Machine show. Secret Invasion got announced, which is a really big event. I'm surprised they're not doing it as a movie. With, Nick Fury and...
It's kind of... they've changed it, though, haven't they? Because in the Skrulls in the comics, where they were the bad guys, whereas the Skrulls in this are kind of... Yeah, he's played by Ben Mendelsohn, and he's kind of like a good guy, isn't he? Really? So,
yeah. It was funny. I rewatched Captain Marvel, and I quite liked it watching it the second time. I wasn't really a fan of it the first time, but I quite enjoyed watching it again on Disney Plus. If you guys got Disney Plus, I'd recommend rewatching that. But I'm surprised they're not doing a Secret Invasion storyline through Captain Marvel 2 or whatever. So
I think it might. Maybe it'll join up. Yeah, maybe it'll. Yeah, their series will join up to the film. It's good that they are doing this because these TV series, they will join up to the the cinematic universe.
Yep.
And I know some people are like,
same actors
Marvel
and stuff.
films.
It's quite cool.
Yeah. Like the Marvel films are crap, and we don't. People. There's not everyone's cup of tea, but I like it. I liked all the Marvel films, and how they all join together.
Yeah,
and they tried to do it with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that just kind of didn't really work. But now they're all. Under Disney. Disney are doing all these. They can just tie them in all. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. We also got Moonlight, which I don't know much about. She-Hulk, which also confirmed that we're going to get a Hulk. So Mark Ruffalo is going to be in it. I'm also going to get Abomination. Which is really cool. Once again, more links to the thing.
She-Hulk is being played by the woman who was in my girlfriend's one of her favourite programs. What's it called? I don't know why I brought this up because I can't remember what it's called. Orphan Black. Okay. The main person from Orphan Black. She plays like clones, so she plays like 6 different people. She's a really good actress. Yeah, so she's playing.
I've never seen that show. Cool.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. I look forward to all of them. To be fair, we're also getting Miss Marvel, which I guess isn't a big surprise given the popularity of Avengers and that character in Avengers. And she will also appear in Captain Marvel 2, apparently. So cool. More links to the movies and the TV shows. We're also getting a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which is apparently coming next year, which I'm sure will be fun. They're quite funny. Yeah. James Gunn is coming back to direct it, and it will be filmed alongside Volume 3, which is also expected to be released in 2023. They also mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy related I Am Groot TV series. Or no, it's going to be a series of short films starring Groot, which will be on Disney Plus also. So I love Guardians of the Galaxy stuff as well. You a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy?
I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 as much as I did number 1.
Agreed, yeah.
But
I just don't think it was as good.
No, it was a bit shit. I liked them all in Endgame and Infinity War, though, so yeah.
Yeah. No, they're great characters. They're very funny.
Yeah.
And then going on to the movies, they announced Black Panther 2 is still going ahead, and they won't be recasting Chadwick Boseman, which is probably the right decision to make. I'm also very interested in how you can do a whole film based on Black Panther without Black Panther in it, or
it most likely. His sister gonna be it, maybe. Maybe she'll become a Black Panther. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure, but it's interesting how they get around that. They also announced the third Ant-Man film, Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantum Mania, I think that's called.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Is a funky name. I suppose it's going to be going in with the next two, which is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And also they're saying that it's also going to be tied into the third Spider-Man movie. And I'm sure everybody is coming back for this third Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, so you got, Doc Ock's coming back. Can't remember the actors, can't remember the guy's name who played him.
It's basically everybody from the Tobey Maguire films are going to be in this, isn't it, really?
Tobey Maguire, apparently Andrew Garfield's coming back. So it's going to be, all multiverse. So
Jamie Foxx, cool. Electro,
because I loved all the Marvel films, and up to last year when they finished it off with Infinity War, it did feel like that's it. They could have left it there, and obviously they weren't going to because they made too much money, but they could have left it there and everyone would have been happy and all that. And it was like the end of an era. 10 years, 11 years in the end. So then for them to do all these again, obviously some of the characters, Captain America, Chris, what's his name? Chris
Evans.
I don't know. Evans, yeah. No Iron Man. But yeah, hopefully they'll be able to, 10 years down the line, they might have another Endgame style finale. And well, apparently Kang's going to be the new big bad, isn't he? I think so. I think they announced that. So he's going to be
Kang. Yeah, he's going to be in Ant-Man. Yeah,
and I'm just looking forward to it. And it's weird. I
Jonathan Majors will be playing him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the guy from Lovecraft Country. Yeah, this weird. Weird TV. So it's pretty good actually. It's what was I going to say? It's weird that this year there was no no Marvel film. This is the first time in 11 years that no Marvel film has been out in the cinema.
Yeah, well, due to COVID.
Due to COVID,
Widow should have been
it's supposed to be Black Widow, but don't know when that's coming out. But
they did announce that it's coming. I think they said either March or May. I think they said March.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's coming March. And it's cinema again. They're not doing Disney Plus, which I feel like they should just do Disney Plus at this stage.
Will it be cinema again? You know what I mean? Will it be?
But they're saying March, so I'm pretty sure it might be May. Actually, it's one of those.
Maybe we'll have our vaccines by then. You never know. You know, just although I think our age bracket is very much down the list, so we ain't getting our vaccine anytime soon.
I'm not bothered about vaccines anyway. But the last one, which I feel like is the most exciting one for me personally, was the new Fantastic Four movie finally being confirmed.
Yeah, so that's been announced, isn't it? Yeah.
Although I'm not the biggest fan of the actual Fantastic Four, like the team, I love their villains. Like Doctor Doom is up there with one of my favorite villains. Silver Surfer is one of my favorite Marvel characters, period. And Galactus, will be probably the new Thanos in the next decade or so.
Yeah, maybe.
And I feel like that is probably what it will be setting up, and it'll be interesting to see. Imagine it will be through the multiverse, and that they'll get sucked in. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they'll probably do the same with the X-Men eventually. But yeah, you excited for Fantastic Four joining the MCU?
I am really looking forward to Fantastic Four. Yeah, it'd be a good. Them to make a good Fantastic Four movie will be. Will be a change. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is awesome. So. Yeah, and Silver. I would like to see. I could just imagine Silver Surfer with Guardians of the Galaxy or Captain Marvel and stuff like that. So it's it's so cool.
Yeah, definitely.
The next lot, because obviously they also own Star Wars, which is Lucasfilm. So they announced roughly around 10 Star Wars related stuff. So the first one is kind of what Brad said earlier about the spin-offs from Mandalorian. One is an Ahsoka TV show, and the other is going to be it's called Rangers of the New Republic, which is about that woman that we can never remember her name. I'm sure Brad knows her name.
I think, Cara Dune. I think it's about her and the other guys. You know, the other guys you see flying around the X-Wings. I think it's going to be like a Star Wars cops program. You know, there's going to be, that's the kind of thing. Yeah, them policing the New Republic. So apparently,
awful X-Wing pilots from the cave episode that just just leave people for dead. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in here. So should be pretty good.
Okay, interesting stuff. The next one is Star Wars: The Bad Batch, which is going to be an animated series based on a bad batch of clones, apparently from the Clone Wars, and that will also be on Disney Plus. I'm sure it'll just be an extension from the Clone Wars and Rebels. There was already, I'm sure it'll be the same characters like Rex and stuff like that. So if you watched Rebels or Clone Wars, I'm sure you'll be familiar with the batch of clones that basically didn't have the chip implanted for the Order 66, and they basically went off their own turf onto, I believe they had like a modified walker from the Clone Wars, and they kind of lived on that I believe it was in Tatooine. So I'm sure it'd be about them. It might not be. I don't know anything more about it than that. The next one is called Star Wars Endor, which is it's basically the prequel to Rogue One. So it's about that Diego Luna.
Andor, about Cassian Andor. Yeah. That's cool.
So it's coming to Disney Plus. I thought it was a film. When I first heard about this prequel, I thought they were making another film, but it's not. It's a TV show, and it's coming in 2022. So not next year.
It's a bit of a random one, that, isn't it, really? Just to do a series based around him, because it was, like you say, it was one film, one standalone. They all died at the end. it's just to make a series about him. It just feels a bit, I don't know, odd, but
I think it's odd as well, because I really, out of all it's the best thing that Disney's done since they've had, other than Mandalorian.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like just to say films, it's the best film they've done. It's not even close.
I like Solo as well, to be fair. So.
Okay, fair enough. But I think it's by far the best film they've done, to the point where I would put it up there ahead of Jedi. I prefer this ahead of Return of the Jedi. I feel like it adds so much to A New Hope. It solves every problem that I had with A New Hope, like every loophole, and it just it's the
brilliant
perfect
space
Star Wars
combat.
Film. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Space
Brilliant movie
combat
from beginning to end. That end scene with Darth Vader is fantastic. It's phenomenal. So it's fantastic, but I just don't feel like it's needed. I feel like it was perfect. It was a perfect isolated story that enhanced one of the original trilogy films, and I just don't feel like it was needed. But fine, whatever. It is what it is. The next one is called The Acolyte, which is quite exciting. It's going to be set in the High Republic era of the franchise.
Yeah, so apparently that's like a few decades before A New Hope. So that's when a few decades before Phantom Menace, when the Republic was at its peak and everyone loved it, and so that's pretty cool. I
feel like it's supposed to be about Palpatine and Plagueis, and we might finally see Plagueis the Wise. We've heard about him, so
exactly,
that'd be quite cool to see him and see Palpatine as like a young apprentice, and obviously start of Naboo and then going to Coruscant. Maybe it'll be about that. So it's very, very interesting stuff.
Yep.
The next announcement is about the Obi-Wan TV show, and Hayden Christensen is returning as Darth Vader, which I feel like is absolute fucking awesome. I was already so excited for Obi-Wan TV show, and now they're adding Darth Vader to it. It's like, oh my fucking God. This is stuff of dreams. Like, wow. Got any thoughts on that? You excited?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I wanted an Obi-Wan TV series anyway, like to see what he was up to while he was on Tatooine. Apparently, there were some comics and that about these time there. But I think it'd be good. Looking forward to that. And then I know there's been a bit of backlash. People don't want Hayden Christian in it, but I think it's all right. Don't really. I think it's good.
No, I think it's just great that Darth Vader's going to be
there's
in
nothing
it.
Really,
he won't be in it much, will he?
No, there's nothing really I've heard like all these show-wise, Disney or Marvel, that I'm thinking I'm interested in that. Maybe like the animated clone stuff, because I've not seen any of the other like Clone Wars or Rebels. I don't really. But it's all so far. It's all good. I'm into all of it. So
that's what I feel like. Everyone is like, oh, I'll watch that. I'll watch that. I'll watch. Do you know what I mean? It's just like it's perfect. But
this is why this is when you don't mind paying for the subscription for Disney Plus. If you've got all this, if you've got good content on there, you're going to pay for it. So
this was kind of the dream when Disney bought Star Wars and had Marvel, and you kind of didn't expect them to make them. I think Force Awakens is okay, so I'm going to take them two awful films. This is kind of what I wanted from Disney, and I'm hoping they're now taking a step back from the films, and that when they do a new trilogy, which is completely separate from the Skywalker line or whatever they want to call it, it will be far better, because they've done such good things with Marvel, and you almost thought they was going to do the same with Star Wars, but they've had some misses. I feel like there's been more misses than wins at this stage, but they could certainly bring it on track, because look at all these announcements. The next one is a Droid Story, which is another Disney Plus show, which is going to be about R2-D2 and C-3PO. I don't know when that's going to be set. It doesn't say. I don't know if it's going to be after Revenge of the Sith or before. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see.
Well, C-3PO got a memory wipe after that Revenge, like before at the end of Revenge of the Sith, before New Hope. So,
did he really?
Yeah. He got his memory wiped, so he can't remember being owned by made by Darth Vader and all that. Yeah.
Well, okay. So. Well, Anakin, I suppose, back then, but okay, cool. The next one is Lando is also getting his own TV show, which once again I'll watch it, but I feel like, I don't really need a Lando show, but fine. I'm sure he hasn't. I haven't got this written down. I don't know if I've seen it, but I'm sure Donald Glover will replay him since he was in Solo. Yeah, it would make sense.
Some people were saying that you could have. I can't remember what's the guy who played the original Lando called. I just can't remember anyone's names. I'm bad with names. You could have original Lando narrating, and then obviously, Donald Glover
playing him as a younger version.
So,
sure. Okay, fair enough. The next one is Star Wars Visions, which is an anime anthology series, also coming to Disney Plus, which could be really cool if it's about Jedi and stuff, and we're getting an anime series, so pretty awesome. We also did get one movie announcement, which is called Rogue Squadron, which is supposed to be coming out December 2023, which I'm not entirely sure what it's about. Obviously, it's about Rogue Squadron, obviously, but is it going to be set just before Empire? My prediction of like what the film is going to basically try and do what they did with Rogue One, with obviously New Hope, but they're going to now do it with Empire, and I imagine it's going to be like a Rogue Squadron that goes ahead and tries and fires Hoth for the rebels to hide from the Empire. That is my prediction. They're going to link New Hope to Empire, and it's going to be set in between that. That is what I would guess.
There are so many like Rogue Squadron had its own book series in in Legends, which is Legends now. I think they had like 14 books, and there's some really good, obviously, and that was set after the Endor. So yeah, when this is going to be set, I don't know, but in Legends there's so much to play with, so yeah, it should be good. I think they said like they had good space combat in Rogue One, and they're just going to build on it. So yeah, I want to see some X-wings blowing shit up. Be good.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome wherever it's set. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be set just before Empire, and it's going to enhance that. It's really cool.
Yeah, being directed by Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman. So
yes, yeah,
I really like Wonder Woman. Was the first one. I haven't obviously seen the second one, and I don't know how we're supposed to see the second one in the UK, because I know the second one's coming to HBO Max, but we don't have HBO Max over here. So
yeah, is it out now? Or coming out, because it was coming out Christmas Day, then they cancelled it, and now it's coming out before Christmas.
Before Christmas, but I think it's at the cinema. I don't even know if cinemas are open over here, so I don't know how you're supposed to see it.
Well, not where I am. I'm in tier, I guess it depends on your tier, in your area in the UK.
Yeah,
I'm in tier 3, so it's definitely not open here. Nothing's open.
I don't know. They're doing it, and I don't know. You all these shows coming to HBO Max. It's like, okay, well, what's the equivalent for the UK? Because we don't get HBO Max. We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't have that,
I'll look it up, because after we spoke about it, I was like, is there any way we could ever get HBO Max over here? And it was kind of like because of Sky, because of the TV, because of the license, HBO have a license with Sky. They have an agreement, a contract, and they basically decided it's not worth it because all the shows are on Sky, most of them that are on Max.
So then they should put Wonder Woman 2 on Sky then, surely, just
yeah. Now TV or something. I don't know. Whatever. But, yeah, I'm not sure the solution in the UK. I guess I don't care. But,
that's the reason why Disney Plus was so delayed coming out over here as well compared to America and everywhere else, because of Sky, because they had the same arrangement. That's why I had to wait for it to end before they put Disney Plus out over in the UK.
Okay, yeah, problem. Yeah, licenses and stuff. The last one is there was an untitled Star Wars film announced. It was first announced in May apparently, and it's still going ahead in development. I don't know what much of an update they haven't.
That's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, they haven't cancelled the untitled Star Wars film you know nothing about. So yeah, for those that cared about this film you know nothing about, it's still going ahead. Lots of announcement, loads, great stuff. I'm sure the investors that invest in Disney are thinking money, because they got so much. It's incredible, isn't it? It's like nobody else could do this. It's mad.
Everyone's going to be keeping their subscriptions even when they put our price up.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. And the prices are going up. I believe I haven't put it on there, but they also announced they're going to do a new Indiana Jones as well. So,
okay,
the final Indiana Jones is in pre-production apparently, and it's going to be released in July 2022. So, I don't really want that, but
maybe.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes I kind of think, is choice a bad thing? Because if I choose not to watch it, I don't have to watch it. But someone else that might like it, do you know what I mean? If I just like the original trilogy of Indiana Jones, which is great, do I have to, like, does it ruin the original trilogy by this new one coming out? Do you know what I mean? It's like, does the new
I don't think it does,
trilogy
no.
of Star Wars movie ruin the original? It doesn't ruin it for me. It's kind of like, it's extras that I can just kind of forget about.
Yeah.
But someone else might like it.
I was just about to say no, it doesn't ruin it. But then, the Star Wars comparison. You know me. I was massive into Star Wars. I loved it.
Yeah.
And the books and the statues, and we've still got it all. I've all that. I loved everything about it. And then Force Awakens comes out like that is even better. But then the last two films that come out did kind of spoil it for me, and it did put me off of it. I was kind of like, oh, whatever, I don't care anymore.
Sure.
Kind of checked out. But now the Mandalorian's kind of get me back into it, and hopefully there'll be some good TV shows and that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. Yeah, I know what you mean. It doesn't ruin it, but it can. It can ruin it.
Yeah.
I've had
certain things that are kind of untouchable as well. It's kind of like, I feel like Back to the Future, for example. Like that is, you can't touch that. If they tried, I think is it Universal that owns that or whoever.
Well, the guy who, one of the guys who made it said you can never do a remake or sequel or anything while I'm alive. So I dare say, once he dies, then they'll probably go ahead and do it and ruin it again. But it's one of the directors or producers it was. I can't remember what his name is, but he said, you're not doing anything. While he must have some sort of control of the rights. So it's like, you're not doing it while I'm.
It's like, are we getting a Matrix 4 next year? It's kind of like, do we really need a
Matrix 4?
Although I didn't really like the last one, Matrix was the Matrix. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it was a phenomenon back then. Do we really need an extra one? It's a little bit, whatever.
Yeah, but like you say, there's always a choice. If I didn't like Star Wars after The Last Jedi, I didn't go see the new one at the cinema because I thought the last one, Rise of Skywalker, was like, no, I don't care, I'm watching it. So you can choose not to go and see it.
Exactly, that's why where we'll come back to that full circle. Is choice a bad thing? If you can choose to watch it, you can choose not to watch it. You can decide in your world that there was no sequel trilogy. Do you know what I mean? It ended with Return of the Jedi. That's what it was, and that's my Star Wars. Like, it's up to you how you. That's kind of it, really. But cool. Each to their own. Anyway. We will now go on to the main topic of the show, which is obviously Cyberpunk. So, obviously, this is going to be non-spoilers. Well, we couldn't really spoil it anyway, because I'm sure we're not that far into it anyway. I've played around 9-10 hours, like I said I would. I'm sure Brad will be a similar number. We've both played it, for your information. We've both basically played the PS4 version on PS5. So, we are able to kind of half play it. I'm sure everybody knows what Cyberpunk 2077 is, but it's basically an action role-playing game which was developed and published by CG Projekt. It was released on Windows, PS4, Stadia, Xbox One on the 10th of December 2020, and we're going to get a next-gen upgrade next year at some point, hopefully very, very soon, for the PS5 and the Series consoles. The story takes place in Night City, which is an open world within the Cyberpunk universe. You play it's in a first-person perspective, and you play as a mercenary known as V. And you are acquiring skills in hacking machinery with options of melee and range combat. So that is a little segment about the game. Do you want to tell the guys whether or not you like it and your thoughts of why you like it, don't like it, etc.?
So I've played about the same time as you. I looked at, we compared our trophies. I've unlocked 2. I don't know. I like story-based ones. I don't know how many. Have
you checked your playtime? What playtime?
I was at 6 hours, I think it was.
Okay, cool. So, you're a little bit behind.
So far so far so good. I went for the Nomad storyline.
Cool.
So obviously that's going to be different to how your game starts.
Yeah, I went Corpo for reference.
Yeah. I think my brother did try and go Corpo, but then he hasn't been to play it. So,
sure.
So far it's like I say, I'm only 6 hours in. I don't really know. Can we mention Johnny Silverhand or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, got to the bit where a little bit after he comes into the game. I don't know if it's like when you're looking forward to a game so much or a film, whatever, can it live up to expectations? And this is a fun game. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but I wouldn't say it was like the game to end all games. Like this is the world-ending game. The gameplay's fun. The shooting's quite good. It's a bit overwhelming. I looked at like the skill tree and that, but then it is with every new game. Kind of, you look at it and you kind of like, shit. Where do I start? What do I put my points into?
Yeah, you get real. I got real anxiety when I saw that. A good little thing I would say for anybody that's listening and for yourself, and I heard it on someone else that reviewed the game. Sorry. Is that you can actually reset your skill tree. So if you go down a path that you really don't like and you get to the end, you can, it'll let you reset it and you can completely do a new build if you want. So that kind of gave me a little bit of comfort.
I've kind of placed them kind of like, so none of my skills are a lot higher than others. I've kind of tried to balance them out as much as I can. But yeah, so far I've been playing. I've enjoyed it. The game has crashed twice. It just comes up problem with app or game. Do you want to send an error report to Sony? And then I obviously have to come back in. And luckily, both times the autosave's been quite recent. But it's annoying, halfway when you're playing it just kind of crashes. But yeah, the gameplay, as I say, I like the gameplay. I like there seems to be a lot, I haven't unlocked a lot of it. There seems to be a lot of, customization on weapons. I found I found a not legendary weapon, but a special type of weapon because it comes up, this is a handgun. Kind of thing, but it's like a handgun, yeah.
I've got that weapon.
Yeah, handgun,
well.
yeah.
I think everybody does.
I haven't done any crafting yet. I haven't really got into the bit where you can start crafting. I've heard as well, like the crafting tree isn't really as good as it is. So like you can waste a lot of points going down that road.
Okay.
But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's good. It does, obviously, at least we're able to run it on what we've got. So I don't really like the driving. I'm glad you can drive in third person because I hate driving in first person. Like,
definitely. That's the first thing I changed. I was like, and I like the fact that you can call your car like Roach. You can, and it just kind of like, which makes more sense than calling the halls at any point. That's a car that self-drives itself. I wish there was more self-driving. I'm sure there will be once you get a better car, I suppose.
Yeah, there is a mission, the heist. So the big mission at the beginning, really enjoyable. I like that. I thought that was really
enjoyed
good.
It as well.
That was fun, and seeing when you see Adam Smasher, like this cyborg big brute thing, is kind of like shit. You have to start fighting him at one point.
Yeah. Have you played? Have you done all the sequence with Johnny Silverhands? About spoiling? Have you done all that?
He's there. He's there at the moment. But
okay, cool. We'll leave it there. We don't want to spoil for people.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, but I think I know what you're talking about. And yes, So
cool.
Yeah, but enjoying it so far, and hopefully it will pull me in more the more I play it. That's what I want it to do. And what about you? Are you enjoying it?
It's good. I don't think I've played a game that I'm more frustrated with in my life. Because I don't know how you play RPGs, but for me, I like to play an RPG once, and it's kind of like that is my story, and I make the choices based on me. Like I play as myself. I know it sounds odd, but when I play a role-playing game, like a really deep, true RPG, I sometimes play them as like that character, and I kind of make the decision based on what I think that character would do. And sometimes I play as myself, and I'll do what I would do. And I decided that I was going to play this game as me. So this is like my
I always
story.
do that. I always do it what I would do. That's so
I kind of want to be immersed in this world, and you can see like Night City is it's incredible. The level of depth they put into this city is like nothing I've ever seen. But the performances that I'm getting, where it's dipping below 1080p, and the frames, like, I haven't had any crashes, thankfully. But my performances are just, I don't know, they're just really poor. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, to the point where it's almost close to like, it's really off-putting because I really want to get into it, but I'm just kind of a bit like reluctant to, because I'm thinking, should I just wait for them to release another patch? Not necessarily wait for the next upgrade, but wait for another, because surely they're going to keep releasing it maybe once a week, because we've had 2 already. I think we had one the other day, which was 1.06, and since then my game actually looks worse. Yeah, it looked better when I first tried it, like the first night. Yesterday, when I played most of it, it looked terrible. Like it looked like performance-wise, it was really bad. I had one bug that was really annoying. Where I finally finished, like there was like the first boss fight that you do with one of the gang bosses. I don't know if you did that as well. You have to do a gang. You go through a gang's area inside, and there's like an exchange, and there's like a virus within the exchange. Yeah. But I was trying to be vague, and then you do a fight, and then at the end you need to speak to who's the guy that you're with? Jackie. You need to speak to Jackie at the end. My Jackie was inside. He never left the building, and then so I tried going back in, and there was a guy at the door that wouldn't let you back in.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, great. So I tried finding another way round, blah, blah, blah. And in the end, I had to turn the game off and on, and it restarted me like right at the beginning of that whole thing. So I had to do all the way through again. I was just like, oh, this is just, I don't know, really annoying. But other than that, I haven't had any like real bugs other than my car is floating. Whenever I go back, like, when I go in the car, it's hovering.
Oh, okay.
Which,
I
it's supposed to be hovering, but clearly it wasn't. It was just.
I had a bug when I first started. You start as Nomad. You start in this little town, and I was driving down the road, and there was like it looked like there was someone sitting like crouching on the floor, and there was someone sitting on his shoulders just in the middle of the road. And obviously that's not supposed to be there, but that was the bug I had, as well as the crashes. And like I say, some of the textures not being there, like popping in afterwards.
I'm getting texture problems, especially with the heist thing, where you're in quite a tall building. Try and be vague about it. You should see like the landscape. You see like nice city around it. I had nothing. It was just grey. Like it was just. I had nothing. It was like what? I think really bad.
There's a couple of buildings in front of me, and after that it was just there was nothing. There was no draw distance. There was just like literally nothing.
It was like, wow, this is I don't know, it's just very off-putting because I want to really get immersed in the game. Like you said, it's very deep, it's very overwhelming. You've got obviously multiple skill trees that then go into those, and then I have skill trees on skill trees. You have your own cybernetic enhancements, like upgrades you can make as well. So the core of the game, you can see there's going to be a very good game there. And once we get all these, the next gen upgrade, and there's DLC added to it and expansions, I'm sure the game will go down as probably close to what we kind of thought we was going to launch. But at this moment in time, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's very, very disappointing just because of the performance issues.
I can't say go out and get it or play it, because if you've only got a current gen console, you can't play it, and if you've got a PC, then you're fine. That seems what it's optimized for. And if you've got a next gen console, then maybe. But like me and you we've got next gen consoles, and we're still having issues. So I'd say wait. I'd say don't. If I know, if you don't want to be part of the conversation, I feel that's always gets a lot of people. Like with me, I always like to be a part of the conversation. I like to be like a day one adopter with most things. And I just like to try things. So. It's just, it's a real problem with this game. I was kind of originally going to create like a melee build, because when you do the tutorial thing, I really liked it when you had the katana. Like I quite that it was quite fun. I was like, I'm going to like have some kind of cyber guy with like swords, go in and like start slashing people. And then I started playing with the guns. So a bit like you, I find the guns like quite really fun to play. I kind of want to try and get myself like one of the smart weapons where the bullets track and they go around corners and stuff. I think I've got one of them actually.
Have you got one? I don't know how you do it. I was like, I've got one where you can see through walls, where it's like a heat-seeking thing.
I ain't got that.
I ain't got tracking.
You know what? It does piss me off a little bit about the game. When you're in your safe house, your apartment, and you go into your stash, and then there's all like these indentations in the wall where you put guns. And I've put loads of guns in there, thinking that it's going to populate the walls, like fill the walls out, and it doesn't. They're still empty. So I was like, are these special like legendary guns that you have on display? That's just something that annoys me. I want you. The more of the guns you collect and you put in there, I want you to be able to have them. I haven't tried doing that at all, to be fair. I've just been dismantling or whatever it's called in the game. I think it's called dismantle. But and I did find an Easter egg. If you go into your apartment, if you go into your toilet, there's 3 seashells on the side next to the toilet.
Oh, okay.
That's from the film. What's it called? Demolition Man. Yeah. So 3 seashells. I actually screenshotted it. Yeah. So
okay, that's cool.
That was
I never noticed that. No, that's awesome.
Yeah. But actually, because Cyberpunk actually got mentioned in The Witcher, didn't it?
Did it?
Because when Ciri could jump from dimensions, she could jump through dimensions, and she said to Geralt once he finds her, sorry, don't want to spoil. I'm spoiling a 5-year-old game. She travelled to one place where there was flying cars and people had implants, and it was like neon lights and everything. And so they were saying that she jumped to the Cyberpunk
2077. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's a shame. It's such a shame. That's why I'm saying I'm frustrated with it, because, like you said, you can see this. The core of the game is good. Like the story so far, I'm enjoying it. Obviously, we're still very early. The dialogue is great. I love the dialogue. It's really, really good. It's really fun. But I feel like when you got a lot of dialogue and you got to be reading, and you kind of got to be in the mood to get like yourself immersed in it. But then when you got this performance issue, it kind of takes me out, and then I kind of can't be bothered to read it. I'm not concentrating. And then it's kind of just like, I don't know, it just takes the immersion out of the experience. I feel like with these kind of, I want to call it a true full RPG, because you get a lot of these like baby RPGs these days, don't you? Like the Assassin's Creed and Ghost of Tsushima and I don't know, games like that where we've got like RPG mechanics, but they're not an RPG. Do you know what I mean? It's just an action game, really. Where this is a proper RPG, and I know you're more of an RPG man than me, with like Fallout, and I've tried getting into Fallout. I just can't. I tried getting into Dragon Age, can't again. I don't like the turn-based combat. I've never played Mass Effect. I like Elder Scrolls, I like Skyrim, but that's probably the closest I've ever got to getting into a proper RPG. I guess I like Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, but I really wanted to get into this because this is more my setting. Like I really like the futuristic stuff rather than the post-apocalyptic or, I don't know, high fantasy, whatever. This is probably my more, I don't know, thing I'm into. So I was really looking forward to it, and it's just very, very, very disappointing.
Yeah, at the minute it is disappointing. Yeah, I'm going to put some more time into it and give it, more of a fairer chance. But I know I can definitely see what you mean at the minute. It's a shame. Both, looking forward to it. We were talking about this since we first started this podcast. Do you know what I mean?
We've been talking about it for like 7-8 years. It's such a hype game, and that's what's.
Well, as I say, the weird thing is, when this game got announced, I hadn't met my girlfriend, and now we're engaged. We're getting married next year. So, from it getting announced to it being released, so much has happened. 8 years. You know what I mean? It's just
Although to be fair, you never knew your girlfriend this time last week, so that's not really.
Well, what can I say, player? No,
you just went up to a random girl on the street and said, "Will you marry me?" And it's escalated very quickly.
She
and then you told her afterwards that you quit your job, and apparently she's still about.
They have to keep me. You know what I mean? That's,
exactly.
Exactly.
You worked out perfect.
That trailer where the cinematic trailer where there was the woman in the street with the blade arms and getting shot, that was released in 2013. So that was 7 years ago. You know what I mean? It's it's been a long time coming, and it's just kind of, unless you run it on PC, you kind of can't do it.
Yeah, if you can wait, like you said, I would recommend telling people just to wait for the upgrades, wait for the patches, because once it's all been patched and stuff, you will generally, there's a really good game there if you can, once all that is sorted, which I'm sure it will be. And like I said, I reckon this will sell, although it's got sold 8 million so far, I reckon it will surpass 20 million copies sold like this time next year, and it will win loads of rewards at the Game Awards next year because they will sort it all out. We'll get next gen upgrades. It will be running at like 4K 60 with ray tracing. It will look absolutely phenomenal. It'll probably look like the best game on the PS5 this time next year. That is my claim. I reckon it will look probably the best game on the PS5. And the game, the core of the game is great. So it's just very frustrating. I want to get into it. I've still got an itch to play it. Like you, I still want to continue playing it. I want to upgrade my character. I want to get better guns. I want to get a better car. Like I want to do all that upgrade things like you do in an RPG. But it's just it's kind of like, am I ruining my experience? Because like I said, I play as like myself, and I'm only going to play it once. I'm not going to play this again.
No.
Do I want to play through the main core of the story in this condition, or should I wait until it improves and then play it, and it'll be a lot more enjoyable? Obviously, if I do the story now, probably if I do that, obviously for the podcast and stuff, so we can talk to like a spoiler thing maybe next month at some point. But it's kind of like, I will always have the DLC and expansions to play. Like we're going to get expansions, we're going to get DLC with the next gen upgrade. So it's not like I'm not going to play it in the better condition it will be in. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll see what happens.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of time off work now. like over Christmas. I don't go back to work until January, so I'll be putting some. Obviously, I've got to move house, so that's going to take some time. But I'll have some spare time, and I will carry on playing it, as well as Spider-Man and Assassin's Creed and Bugsnax, and I would play it. But sorry, so be. Yeah, I don't know. How long did you spend in the character creator?
Don't know. 15, 20 minutes? Not that long.
I do what I do in every game. Preset, I'm like, yep, that'll do. And then I change the beard, the hair, and the eye colour, and massive schlong, and then I was in.
Yeah, I chose the biggest dick as well.
Yeah. So it's so weird. It's so weird. Like
it's very distracting when that thing's just fucking dangling in the hair.
I was doing it, and then like my girlfriend sort of looked over. She's like, "The fuck? What is this?" And I'm like, "Hey, I didn't choose this, right? This is just the character creator. Ain't my fault. You can change the size of a bloody your knob. You know what I mean? So it is odd." Another thing, my game kept bugging. Put some trousers on my character, and I thought they was on because in the menu it said it was on, but then when I was walking around, there was nothing. It was just like naked from bottom down. So
that's hilarious. Just walking around with your fucking tackle swinging around your knees.
I was like, and then I took them off. Did anybody say anything? No, not
in the world. No, it's just normal behaviour.
Because I think it kind of said. They're supposed to be there. They just weren't. So I took them off and put them back on, and they was on there again. Okay. But it's just like
that's such a weird
walking around with I think it's because I went to have a look in the mirror, and it was like naked. I looked down, and when I was in the apartment, when I was trying to do the stuff with the guns in the stash house, and just naked. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? You know what I mean?
That's hilarious. Just have no idea. Just wearing a t-shirt, just walking around.
There's a t-shirt and a jacket.
The whole heist with your fucking tackle out. Brilliant. Love it.
It's just weird, But I can't recommend getting this game yet. And even if you have got a next-gen console. So the part-time players say wait.
Sorry to cut you off there. I was a little bit concerned because I feel like we mentioned it in one of the Night City Wires about I can't remember what it's called now, the brain dance thing. It's called brain dance, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be really, really long and shit. It's nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, when it got to the bit that we'd seen in a Night City Wire, I was like, oh shit, this is that. Yeah. This is the brain dance. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But it wasn't that bad actually.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was quite quick as well. It was fine. It was quite obvious what you had to do and find things.
Yeah.
So before I mentioned that it's nowhere near as bad, but cool. You got any more thoughts on Cyberpunk before we move on?
No, I think I've said everything. When I play it a little bit more, maybe next week we'll be able to if we've got any more faults, add any more bugs where,
well, next week will be a Christmas special pre-recorded.
It will be a Christmas special, yes. Christmas.
Maybe the week after you will thoughts on that, which will be our in-person live recording episode. Yes. So I won't be able to play at all. I'm actually traveling back to Essex next week. Next weekend. So this is my final week at work and final week living, I suppose. So period. So it's my final work. Full stop.
Yeah. As you know, I left my job on Friday. A bit emotional. It's a bit.
Wow! Finally, after all these years,
done a Skype, a Teams call for everyone to say goodbye to me. So it was a bit of a
emotional. It is emotional.
A bit emotional, but but now I've got to drive to the office and take all my stuff back, which I can't bother to do. But I've got to do it. So.
The chair and stuff. But
my chair and the box of stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Shall we move on? So before we go on to the worst segment of the show, which is This Day in Gaming, we do have a winner for the Metacritic competition. And I did go back through, as Brad wanted me to. I kind of went through and I recounted them all to see if any changed. So a few did change. Funny enough, scores have dropped. So Mafia Remake stayed at 76, which I won. Brad won Avengers, which has actually, funny enough, dropped to 67 now. But Brad still won it. What bad score for that game. Crash, I won at 85, which is the same as what it was. Watch Dogs Legion, I won. It's actually dropped down to 70 from 71. Assassin's Creed, I also won. It was 82. It's now dropped to 80. Spider-Man Miles has also remained the same, which Brad won at 85. Brad also won Demon Souls with a score being the same at 92. Godfall has actually dropped from a 62 to a 61. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? I actually wrote this down. Is the 61 that Godfall's on, is that higher or lower than Anthem score on the PS4?
I'd say higher.
Yeah, Anthem was 52.
Jesus.
It was actually 65 on Xbox. So who knows why that got a bump. Sackboy dropped to 79, which I'm still the winner for, which was one of the close ones, which was originally 78. Then it went up to 80, and now it's gone down to 79. But I am still the winner. Call of Duty, Brad won. We did have it at 82, which Brad actually predicted, but he actually dropped. This is the biggest drop. It dropped down to 76, which is quite a big drop.
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors has also got a drop. It's gone from 79 to 78, which is very low, especially for a Zelda game. Yeah,
I think that's where I fell down. I predicted it higher, didn't I? So
yeah, you put 90.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk has no score on the consoles, unsurprisingly. But I put a crazy 76 now, and Brad's put 74. I put 96, and Brad's put 94. I feel like it's very safe. It's not even going to hit 90, let alone probably 80 in this state. Yeah. So I'm quite happy to give this to Brad. Immortal Phoenix Rising has remained at 76, and which I've won. So that's made it a victory for me. Very close. I've won 7. I got 7. Brad got 6. So I've won 7-6. And I believe Brad owes me a pizza when I go to his. So yeah.
Well, yeah. There's no pizza. I'm sorry, they don't deliver to where I live. So
I'm sure we can make an arrangement. I'm sure.
Do you know what gets delivered to where I'm moving to?
What's that? Subway.
Five Guys.
Okay, upgrade changed. We're doing Five Guys instead. Cool. I'm actually jealous of that. I wanted to. Oh no, it's actually probably a good thing that Five Guys can't deliver to where I am now.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I said it's bad. Yeah,
it is actually a bad thing. It's probably better that you can't get it. So that is the final score. So I've won.
Congratulations. Not on the podcast. Us one on the podcast, one not on the podcast. We've had 2 competitions with each other. I've won 1. And now Reese has won 1, so we're equal now. So we're
equal.
We'll think of another. Maybe do another gamer score challenge. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll do one for 2021. Once we get a little bit more, few dates, we'll have to plan it throughout the year, and we'll do another end of year competition again. But instead of doing it by, I guess, autumn or the winter games, we'll do it for the full year, because obviously games are coming out all year round.
Yeah.
We'll plan it over the Christmas break, starting, I don't know if there are any games coming out in January now. Prince of Persia's been pushed.
No, I don't know.
It's Resident Evil. Normally a Capcom game comes out at the end of January. So we'll have a little look, and then we'll just go through and we'll do our little predictions. There's been one review for the PlayStation on Metacritic for Cyberpunk 2077, and it's been scored 35.
Wow. 35.
Yeah, it's got quite a lot. It's had 4,756 user ratings with a user score of 2.7.
Jesus. I tell my brother to go on there and put his review on. You know, what
I feel like they've got the message. I don't feel like 4,500 people have said their negative thoughts on it. So yeah, it's oh dear.
I don't think they care either. They've got their reviews. They don't care. They don't,
Oh, they do care. I feel like they care. They will turn it round. Like No Man's Sky. I've never been more confident in a game turning this perception around than this game. I'm not so sure about Anthem could ever do it. I'm not sure Avengers can do it. Avengers has probably got more of a chance because I feel like there is a good game there. But 100%, I believe that this game will definitely turn around its perception and people will love it this time next year. Can you not see that?
Yeah.
Once they improve it.
I hope so. Like I say, it's a good game, and I'm going to carry on playing it now anyway. So,
cool.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
Cool. All right, let's go into.
Oh, you done a little trumpet this week? Okay,
yeah, it wasn't really a trumpet. I felt like your trumpet's better. You might have to redo it.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing trumpet.
All right.
This week's This Day in Gaming. In the 14th of December 1997 in the UK, the game got released. The original Grand Theft Auto.
Oh,
so published by Take-Two Software Inc. It was a 2D top-down action racing game. I never played it. I haven't
played it either.
Yeah, so it was just top-down. You just kind of, I think you could get out of the car as well, but you obviously just a criminal getting away from the police and shooting things up. And to think what it's come from that in 97 to now, what the last GTA 5 and GTA Online is pretty incredible. I
remember the leap to GTA 3 is the big one.
Oh, exactly. I was going to say, that's the biggest one. When that was the first one I ever played, GTA 3.
I played London. I played the London one.
Oh yeah, never played. And I don't think I've played any GTAs on the on the PS1.
Bird view kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the technical word for it, but
I couldn't find a Metacritic score on it, so I don't know if it's not got one. You had some user reviews, which I will read out for you. So let's have a look at some. I've got so many tabs open. Here we go. So reviews. It's got the one that started it all. Does it still stay strong after 17 years? Got a 5 out of 4, 3 out of 5. Freedom. Someone's put given. Actually, this is shit. I don't know why I'm reading this out. People don't care about this. Basically, it's good. People liked it. It got like a. Let's have a look. It says the reviews are here, but they're not really here. They don't give you an overall score. Overall score after 41 votes, got a 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. So, people liked it. And if you wanted to get it on eBay, I know people enjoy this bit because this is it's a classic game now. Really, if you wanted to add it to your collection, starting bids on eBay, 99p. That's a starting bid. So I don't know.
Starting bid at 99p. What console? PS1.
PS1. Yeah.
Okay.
PS1. Yeah.
There you go.
It was a toss-up this week. It was a toss-up between this and Mario Kart 64, and I don't know why I went for this. Yeah,
you should have gone for Mario Kart. Mario Kart. They're both classics, but I feel like Mario Kart is a very, very great game. I love that game. It was great.
Yeah, it got Mario Kart 64 come out the same day. Yeah, 97. So
good game.
Again, another game I haven't played. So
I played it. It was great. Very good. Very, very good.
Yes. So I think now that is it for the gaming part of the podcast. Now we delve into this week's episode of The Mandalorian. So if you haven't seen it or you don't care and you don't want to be spoiled, thanks for listening. Please get in touch with us on any of our social medias. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The Instagram is PTPlayerspod, and that's the same for Twitter. Facebook is the Part-Time Players Podcast, and YouTube is PTPlayerspod. Comment on there, and if you go on there, like and subscribe, please, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcast. We're on all the major platforms. You can leave a review on Apple Podcasts in the app, so that makes it really easy, and that helps us bump us up the charts and get more exposure and get bigger. We're able to get more production value, and one day we'd be as big as Joe Rogan. You never know. You just don't know. That's the plan.
It's kind of affecting me now. He's exclusive deal on Spotify because I don't use Spotify at all.
Yeah, I know.
And I kind of forgot they've got episodes, and then I saw a few clips of I think Bill Burr was on it the other day. And I like these episodes with Bill Burr. And I was like, I've missed that now, where I normally would just see it. It'd either pop up on my phone, on iTunes, or it would just pop up on YouTube. And that's where I watch and listen to all my stuff. I don't have notifications for Spotify. So, I was like, I missed that.
Yeah.
And I kind of been wanting to.
I missed that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it on my TV, and then there was like no way to play the video version of Spotify on my TV, and it's just like I've got to watch this on my phone now. I don't know.
It's a short one as well with Bill Burr. It's only an hour and 40. My favourite episodes on Joe Rogan are Bill Burr and Joe Diaz. They're my favourite. I really like Joe Diaz as well. It's funny.
Cool. Yeah, no. It's so many different subjects where you can go into.
Yeah.
It's
But don't worry, the listeners to our podcast, we're not going to do an exclusivity to Spotify yet. You're going to be able to download us wherever you get them. So, please, got any suggestions? We want to get in touch. Message us. We'll get back to you. Give you a shout out on the podcast. As we said, we apologised last week for mentioning the B word. It won't happen again. And
you said it like 4 times in this episode.
Well, yeah, and I quite enjoy the game. So to be fair, if this is where you're leaving us, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week for our Christmas special, our festive special.
Yep. Cool. Thank you. Cool. As per usual, would you like to lead with the Mandalorian stuff? Because
I will. I feel
as
like
per normal, I just don't even remember.
You remember, yeah. You let me lead because you have a shit memory. I think that's what we discovered, isn't it? But I am going to get I am going to get the synopsis up. Okay, so basically this episode, chapter 15, so episode 7 of series 2, The Believer.
The Believer.
So the Mando goes off to a prison planet to to get released Bill Burr's character, which I think is called Mayfield. He's at a prison labour camp, and like there's just a load of TIE fighters there. Like, I don't know if there's like recycling it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like
and the droid that come over to get him kind of looked like the droid from Rogue One, didn't it? It looked like like an Imperial droid, but comes over. Cara Dune, the Marshal of the Rebellion of the New Republic, as she is now.
Look at us dropping names. Look at me.
No, look at me. You know what I mean? Anyone would think I've got, I've got a synopsis in front of me. So she comes and gets him out, and then they take him to a planet where they need to get to like an Imperial info network terminal to be able to get to find a location. And they go get Mayfield because he was an Imperial, so he can get into it. And then as they're walking towards Slave One, you see Boba Fett, and he's obviously repainted and polished and cleaned up his armor because it looks so much better than it did in the last episode, doesn't it? He must have spent some time on it.
It looks like spray paint, to be fair, but yeah.
It looks like it's been cleaned up. And then he's like, you scared me. I thought he was another guy. This other guy I knew for a minute. And then Mando walked down. So he obviously remembers him. And then, they go on Slave One. He explains to them where they've got to go. And a really cool thing I liked about that, when you saw inside Slave One, you saw it was kind of on like a gyro. So they were sitting straight. But as it took off, you saw the background shift. You also see when Boba Fett is flying it, he's like laying down. So when it's landed, he's laying down, but when you're like the passenger bit, it spins around, so it reorientates itself.
Yeah, you see that in the Clone Wars, though, don't you? On Camino, when he goes into the ship and he's shooting Obi-Wan on Camino.
Oh, okay, maybe
Boba Fett, the young Boba Fett, is in there, and he is like laying up there, and he's shooting Obi-Wan while Django is fighting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You remember that scene?
Yeah, I remember that scene. Yeah, I've never seen like the inside, like the passenger bit.
Yeah, I never seen the passenger bit. That was quite cool the way it turned.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. And then just watching it, like when like Slave One's taken off, and that I just thought like this is the Star Wars. This is what people wanted. They didn't want all that shit from the last 2 films. Like this is what This is what people want, and this is why The Mandalorian's been so successful, because it's doing good stuff. It's brilliant. So anyway, they go to the ship, and they hijack like this like a truck basically full of this explosive material that they're mining on this planet.
It was like speed, wasn't it?
Just like
there was a bomb on the
speed,
bus.
otherwise it comes explosive, and then they get attacked by a load of pirates. I've never seen the species of these people on the Star Wars before, so I don't know who they were.
No.
And then you kind of see that
Surely they had a weapon on that speeder, or they'll get a speeder with a weapon on it. Like they just have a machine gun that could just shoot the thing from a distance.
Shoot them down, yeah.
And why are they trying to blow them up? I don't
think they want them on the planet, maybe, or they just don't want them there. They just don't want them on their planet no more. Because it looks like it is. The Imperials have kind of occupied this planet. The people don't look too happy that they're there.
Okay.
But yeah, Mando's not in his armor. He's just in a normal stormtrooper armor. And you kind of see, because you see Mandalorian get shot a lot, and you're like, shit, he'd be dead if he wasn't wearing his, Beskar armor.
Sure.
But you see in this, he is skilled. He's knocking people over. He's throwing spears at people. He's just kicking ass. Anyway, they're about to get blown up because they've all got thermal detonators. Like there's about 20 of them, but then 2 TIE fighters come out and clear them away.
Yeah, it was also a moment.
Yeah, that was really cool. They get into the base. Mayfield can't. He recognises one of his old officers, and he said he might recognise me. So Mando has to take off his helmet to be able to scan his face to access the network. And then the officer is redundant anyway because the officer still come over and talk to him. And you find out that Bill Burr's character Mayfield, he was an Imperial, but he doesn't agree with what the Imperial's done, and he's kind of got no love for them. Like he basically, he hates the Imperials because he was.
I feel there's loads of stormtroopers that felt that way, and a lot of officers just was going along with it, isn't it? It's probably
and he just shoots him, just shoots the officer. Then they have to try and escape. Stormtroopers everywhere getting shot. You have Cara Dune and the other woman. I can't remember what her name is. Sniping them from a distance, like helping them out. And then basically they get on the ship, they get on Slave One. Boba Fett picks them up, get on Slave One. And as they're flying away, Mayfield shoots like one of those canisters that was on that on the truck and destroys the whole facility. And then that's when Cara Dune's kind of like, he died during the operation, and they let him go because they realise that he's got no love for the Empire. So he could see his character returning.
Definitely.
Yeah,
he'll probably return in new range of show. Probably.
They get the coordinates for the cruiser where Grogu is being kept, and they're going there. And the next episode is obviously the last in the series, and I don't know if will they go and get more people to help, or is it just them four that's going to go there and try and get them back?
Them four. I got a little niggle with this episode. I loved it. That ending where he gets the hologram and he announces to
corny.
Not even corny, it's just stupid. Like
Gideon,
you're supposed to be sneakily getting the coordinates for the ship to then sneak on and steal Grogu back, but then you announce that you're going to do that beforehand. Is that not stupid? I don't know.
Maybe that's going to work into a plan. Maybe that's what,
Do you reckon? I feel like I would just up my defenses and be on red alert this whole time that this Mandalorian is going to come back and steal my asset. Do you know what I mean? You would just be on alert and you'd be ready for it. Instead, surely it would be strategically better for him not to announce that he's going to sneak on the ship. It's just a bit,
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, it was a bit silly, but overall good episode.
Yep.
You knew it wasn't going to just be from last week. Then they're going to get him back. They're going to leave it on a cliffhanger, and then something else will happen at the end of this series.
Sure.
Yeah. But hopefully this one will be will be longer, because I think again this episode was like 38 minutes.
Yeah, so the last one will be an hour like it was last time. I feel it'll be a good episode.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe Ahsoka will turn up, maybe Thrawn will turn up. We'll see. Hopefully, or maybe Ezra, this Jedi that he contacted, will probably turn up. I feel like there will be a big reveal. Either Thrawn or the Jedi. We're saying Ezra.
Yeah.
I feel like someone will turn up in the end, and that's how it kind of a bit like how they left it with the Darksaber, didn't they, last time? So there'll be a big reveal. Maybe even the other Mandalorians that helped him on that fishing planet. I can't remember what her name is now. What's her name?
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, yeah, because she obviously wants it. Yeah, she obviously wants a Darksaber, but maybe she will help. He does a deal.
Maybe,
I'll give you the Darksaber. In exchange, you help me get Grogu back.
Yeah. But looking forward. I am looking forward to it. We won't be doing it talking about next week's episode because we're going to do a pre-record. But the week after, that's when we will go into the final episode of Mando season 2. So
yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I never mentioned it in my roundup of news because there was so much of it, but Mando season 3 has been confirmed and will be released or starting Christmas 2021. So good news.
Which is good. Yeah. They said a little bit later because of like COVID, but it's not that long, is it? What was it, like 2 months later? So it's fine. Yeah, it's fine by me. No, just knowing it's coming next year. Is cool, so.
I believe like this season got filmed like round about this time. I feel like they started it straight after season 1 kind of aired.
With this one, it was ready to go before it all kind of kicked off. So,
it was all filmed and wrapped up before March. Yeah, so.
Yeah, they just done all the other bits afterwards. So just knowing it's coming next year is great news for me. But if you stuck around to listen to our little recap, and you enjoy this part of it, or you don't, just let us know. Yeah, give us some feedback in the social medias that I spoke about earlier on.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. It's been a good episode. I've enjoyed it. Yep. You enjoyed it? I've enjoyed it.
I have enjoyed it, yeah.
Cool.
Let us know if you've enjoyed it, because we do this for you. We don't do it for us, we do it for you. So
I don't know. I kind of do it for me. I ain't going to lie.
Okay.
I don't give two
Reece does
fucks
it for himself, so.
about whether you like.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm joking. Retract. We're going to cut it.
Yeah, next week we're going to...
I'll edit that pile.
We're going to start the episode with another apology.
We'll just start every episode with some kind of apology for the week before, or I could just start editing stuff out.
Just start editing it out. Actually, this isn't live, but yeah,
exactly.
So,
anyway, until next week. Catch you later. Bye.
Yeah, our Christmas special next week. Remember, Christmas special. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.